Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, tonight, the League of Ordinary Gentlemen proudly bring to you the Fantasy Football 5. Introducing Boss of all, Bryan Roberts. Quick wit, slow feet, Ryan Roberts. Coach, Jay Crew. Not pictured in today's episode, Andrew Ransdale. And JT, the commish. Yay! All right, big week this past week. A lot of things have changed. A lot of things have happened. Before we jump in, you guys got anything right off the top of your head?
Oh, sorry, take my hat off.
All right. Let's go ahead and jump into what went down in week 3.
Going down for real.
So let's see. Week 3, our first matchup was Scorp Mikkel. Let's go back to week 3. Scorp Mikkel. This was the closest matchup of the week. The original projection was 122 to 129. Scorp right at his projection, and Mikkel at 124, barely edging out Scorp by about 1.5 points. Difference maker here came down to
what?
Well, fill in the blank.
Oh.
Difference maker in this matchup came down to
What?
It's a fill in the blank.
Oh. Robbie Anderson sucks.
Okay.
Okay.
James White getting hurt.
James White getting hurt. That has to be the fill in the blank, right?
Yep.
He went out in the second quarter?
Yeah, something like that.
On the hour now.
Second quarter, only had one rush attempt for 6 yards. He gets, he plays the whole game. Obviously, you got to think he is doing better than 0.6. But Scorp has lost James White for the year. What was his injury?
I think it was a hip.
Yeah, it was a hip.
Mm.
And they don't lie.
Shakira said that.
And I listen to every word.
That's your boo thing.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Who's going to take that role?
Nobody's replacing Shakira.
Okay. Who's going to take that role in New England?
JJ Taylor, whatever his name is.
I don't know.
They're
Pass
start
catch
using
run.
the tight ends they spent all this money on. Haven't really been
I
using.
guess they should.
Rightmyer could use some help.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
That's a tease from Jake.
So looking at Michael's team, all of them scored double digits except for he had a 1 from Robbie Anderson and a 1 from Rondale Moore. I know we was talking big about Rondale Moore last week. Didn't pan out in this matchup for Michael.
Not at all.
What did Michael's bench look like? Had Mikkel, Hardman, Jacoby Myers. Yeah, he had a couple pretty good guys on the bench. Jalen Hurts looked all right.
Which Rondale wouldn't have been in if AB wouldn't have been on the COVID list.
True. Yeah, so he was without AB. Could have went Mikkel, Hardman, or Jacoby Myers, but he probably – I don't know. I mean, who would you rather have the rest of the season, Rondale Moore or Mikkel Hardman?
Rondale Moore.
Jacoby Myers or Rondale Moore?
Jacoby Myers.
Ooh.
It's just consistent, man. He doesn't
Jacoby.
score, but
He don't score touchdowns.
he gets a ton of targets. He's never scored a touchdown.
He's never scored a touchdown. I heard a stat the other day. The only player in NFL history to have that many catches without a touchdown.
Who?
Eric Bieniemy.
The offensive coordinator for the Chiefs?
Kansas City Chiefs, yeah.
And you know what's crazy about that?
What?
He might be the offensive coordinator for the best offense in football, who 5 or 6 years ago went an entire season without a wide receiver scoring a touchdown all year. Do you remember that when that happened?
You're not going to get that on other podcasts.
You're not.
I think that's when Dwayne Bowe got hurt, over Dwayne Bowe. And they
Dwayne Bowe. I do remember.
They didn't have a single touchdown by a wide receiver that entire year.
I do remember.
It was basically running backs and Travis Kelce.
From Alex Smith,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
underneath,
Was
just
that
peppering
Kareem
targets.
Hunt's
I don't
year or no? That
I
was
think it might have been JC still from KC.
So, yeah.
That
Jamal
makes
Charles
sense.
is last big
Jamal
year.
Charles.
Yeah, I know, but the JC from KC, it was nice.
Don't hurt yourself there.
It's just a sweet puppy sitting on the floor.
Looking at the rest of Scorp's team, again, he had a pretty good day from Jefferson. Dak did about what he was supposed to do. Najee Harris had 19 targets.
Yeah. A lot of volume.
14 receptions.
The thing is, if you get 14 catches, how many yards did he have? 100 and something?
102 receiving yards.
You know how close to the line of scrimmage those catches have to be to only have that many yards?
Oh, dude. Wait till we get to my matchup. I'm going to show you a really interesting one.
2 big injuries really kind of hurt Scorp. on his bench with Cook out and Henderson out.
Yeah, with Cook and Henderson out.
I mean, he was left with White, and then White getting hurt. Basically, he had 3 running backs out.
Yeah, something crazy had to happen. For
And he
Scorp
also
to
had
lose this.
Deontay Johnson out, too.
Yep,
which
that's
is his
true.
number
Oh, yeah.
2 wide receiver.
So he
Didn't
had
even scroll down.
they had 3 people out that would be in his starting lineup, and he lost his plug-in running back.
I mean, he could have started Justin Fields, though. Just this wouldn't have been close. He would have been stressing about it.
True. That's a tough one. So that takes Michael to 2-1 in 5th place, and then drops Scorp to 1-2 in 8th place. All right, let's go to our second matchup from last week. We have I'm on the wrong page. We have JT Rightmyer.
JT Rightmyer.
JT Rightmyer.
JT. Rightmyer.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, the original projection was 137 to 129 in favor of Cult of Personality. Ended up pulling it out way below the projection, 111 to 97. Rightmyer also changed his team name from bye week to DraftKings is fun. I imagine because he's having some terrible luck right
That
now.
was a big
But
theme. Name changes.
Name
after,
changes,
after last week.
big name changes this week.
And the thing is, like, when we never change our team names and other people do it, it's kind of hard to keep track of who's who sometimes.
So yeah, because the first thing I do when I see somebody change their team name, I say, "What? Something's different,"
What's the reason?
and then I have to go click on it.
Did you get
to
a
figure out-
haircut? No, you changed your fancy team name.
So I have to click on it to figure out who it is, dude. Then I feel stupid because I should have got it by process of elimination.
Context clues.
Indeed.
Quite right.
Our Daniel Jones pick for Rightmyer did not work out the way we
Had hoped.
Well, yeah, we're giving him hope for
Yeah.
it working
I
out. for him.
wish he would have started Daniel Jones this week, but we'll get to that later.
Like, if he starts Joe Burrow, is that enough? I'm doing math.
Do math.
What hurt
Joe Burrow would
Rightmyer?
have
He
helped.
lost by 4.
James Robertson would have.
What
really
hurt the
helped.
most?
Yep.
What
If he
hurt?
had start
It
those
was
Rightmyer?
being so close.
Having so much to say?
All right, we're done. I got in trouble for quoting Rascal Flatts yesterday, but apparently you can do it today.
Oh.
There's no problem.
I was wondering
No,
what
it
you was doing.
We're not at work.
That's fair.
What hurt Rightmyer the most is number one tight end.
We'll get to that later.
Number one tight end. Stephon Diggs just hasn't played.
Emmanuel
hasn't
Sanders
had
caught 2 long touchdowns,
big games.
and Tyler Lockett
that's
left
true.
the game.
Tyler Lockett left the game, and then Miles Sanders got 2 carries.
Yes.
So again, just a
Yes.
lot of bad
Yes.
things happening for Rightmyer.
And CD Lamb got tackled at like the half-yard
Yeah, I
line or
saw
1 yard
that.
line,
Saw that.
and then didn't really get targeted after that because they just kept running the rock.
So,
Yeah.
Silver lining. Trey
Playbook.
Sermon.
for Rightmyer,
Yeah. Finished the game.
Yeah.
Without being hurt.
let's see, 10 rushes, 31 yards, touchdown, and he also
do they have enough confidence in him
receptions.
moving forward?
No.
Like, do you still think if Jeff Wilson comes back, it's his back?
Yep.
Yes.
I think it's Jeff Wilson and Elijah Mitchell.
I think San Fran's going to trade for Marlon Mack.
So what would you call that, JT?
return of the Mac.
Okay.
Who else makes
I
a
was
run
going
at
to say it was a
Marlon
good
Mack?
trade, but all right, yeah. Oh,
Does Philadelphia? I mean,
Maybe.
they
Born
haven't
and
really
raised
looked to establish a running back yet.
Most of my
And all 3 of their running backs have similar skill sets.
Yes,
Shooting
like they
some
don't have like a power back kind of like what he is.
Yeah.
I feel like
Marlon
he'd be
Mack,
a nice
Yeah,
complement to a scat back.
yeah, but if you only give your supposedly
Doo-doo back.
elite, your supposedly elite back, they only gave him 3 carries on Monday nights. It's like
which
it's like he doesn't even care about the run. So
He doesn't care about the carries. Carry on.
Wayward Son or Johnson?
and it's interesting to look that JT, if you hadn't made a trade this week, you're looking at your starting lineup from that week. You have 3 guys already declared out.
Yeah.
You traded one of them away before that was known for that player.
We'll get to that
To
later.
the guy who
Jake
needed
is
a tight
teasing
end.
it up.
Oh, I'm still getting to it right now.
Well, no,
Get it.
Get it. We'll give Rightmyer a whole 10 minutes.
So, Tennessee, one of my bold predictions on the Week 1 podcast, has not. I mean, what are they? 2-1.
1-2.
1-2. Was that their first win?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're 2
No,
and 1.
Hey, get yourself Madison
Oh,
in there.
look at it. I'm over here looking at Jono. My bad.
So they are
Great
2-1.
movie.
But now they have their top 2 wide
Jamal.
receivers out,
Yep.
which one of which I'll mention later.
Yep.
Julio looked good, but now he has a knee injury.
Yep.
I don't know, man. Like, I know they got a new OC, but they haven't looked very comfortable in it yet.
They got the
They're
old
not.
OG.
The only time they looked good was in the second half when Derrick Henry went off.
They're not running nearly as much play action as they did last year, and that was when Tannehill was lighting out the pass.
Play action worked phenomenally this week. Nobody's expecting him to.
If it's receivers, dude, I don't even know who they are.
Well, Madison.
I've got
he's
one of them
like-
in my DraftKings lineup right now.
Westbrook.
Yeah, Westbrook Akine. He's like $2,200 or something.
Got him
like that.
too.
Dang, I'm
Got
right.
him too.
from the All
Daily
Blacks.
fantasy.
I don't know what I don't know anything about it. And
He-
Chester Rogers, I know was
Chester
part
Rogers
of.
caught a touchdown last
Yeah.
week.
But he was also on the Colts, right? Last year, 2 years ago.
Yes.
But I don't know what they're going to do. Not without Brown and Julio. Well, actually, Bryan called it. We know exactly what they're going to do.
They're running the
And they're playing the Jets that I think are the worst team against the run. But we'll get to that.
Which is exciting though, right? Because you're gonna like, we all know he's good, right?
How good is he?
The boy's good,
Okay.
but he's not a pass catcher. He's just a
He's
a-
caught more passes this year.
Yeah,
than,
but he's
He
not.
can
really
catch passes like why
He's
we
just
do that?
a
We can
big
hand
man.
him 40
Yeah.
times.
He's just a big man. So this week, you actually get everybody knowing that they know Henry's getting the football. Henry knows they know he's getting the football. What is Henry going to do?
I
Like,
think
Football.
200 yards rushing.
really?
We're talking, but we're
All
talking
right,
about
yeah,
Henry.
we're getting ahead of
we're
it.
getting-
Good job sliding Madison in.
Yeah. That's why I drafted Madison.
Good
'Cause
Madison
anytime Cook's you and Madison's in, I mean, you're just getting a lot of opportunities there. They're
I
going to
think-
feed him.
I think your biggest unappreciated draft pick, Brandon Cooks, who can't get in the end zone, but he's getting high volume in targets.
Mhm.
He's producing on those. I don't know if he'll ever be a big touchdown guy throughout the course of the season. I don't really think that's
I don't think
his
they're
game.
gonna
No,
Throws
you're
him,
going
but
to get at
he
least
never has
4 or
been.
5 games, or if he's putting up this without a touchdown, you're getting 20 points out of it.
But man, he's doing this with a rookie quarterback and a
Yeah.
bad offense.
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting 10 plus targets a game. And if there's anything you want in a PPR league, is a dude who gets 10 plus targets a game because you can't take him out.
On a team that is going to be losing every game.
Exactly.
Right.
Except for week
Except
one.
for week
when they
one, yeah.
Blew somebody out.
When I drafted him, I was like, okay,
Maybe
they
it
have to throw the ball to somebody. And
Unless he
Brandon
was like a
Cooks
rookie
is talented.
direct to break out. But
Yeah.
Cooks, everywhere he's been, he finds success in like the first year or two, and then just falls out of favor, and they trade him away.
I don't like him.
Seriously, he's been
Like-
traded 3 times in 4 years.
His least successful run was with the Patriots, I think.
Yeah.
Because he balled out with the Saints. He balled out with the Rams.
He
He's
had
good.
some.
Yeah, I'm saying like that was his
times,
least successful.
But the
game.
thing about New England is good players that go to New England now. I mean, it's like ever since Moss got there, like after they got Moss. Good players that go to New England don't do well. Some guy you've never heard of goes to New England, ends up being a stud.
Yeah, because they bring him in when they're like 38, like Ocho Cinco when he went there.
Yeah, that's true.
Reggie Wayne when he went
They're
there.
trying to do like what NBA franchises do with like, let's bring in a veteran.
Ring
that can,
chasing?
like, yeah,
The Lakers just
like with
Retirement
Karl Malone,
community.
And Gary
Payton,
that
yeah.
year. We all
Steve
remember that.
Nash.
Oh man.
But no, like yeah, everybody had that same mentality going into the draft. Like, we're not drafting anybody from the Texans.
because you didn't know if the offense would move.
Yeah, we
does
don't-
Watson, if Watson were to come back and play tomorrow, does this team make a big turnaround? I don't think there's any way they can. I think
I think their
Watson-
offense looks better, but I think their defense is still going to struggle.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Houston's just, but Houston
Because right now they
is
have a
doing.
rookie.
They're overachieving what I thought they'd do.
They won a game.
Yeah,
Well,
and
I mean,
they're
it's just
cheating.
even in, like with the Panthers, they were down a touchdown.
Yeah, they
At
actually
halftime?
they stayed in the game.
They
for
don't
sure.
really get blown
with a
out.
third-string quarterback
Yeah,
against
they
the
stayed in the game.
Right.
You're right.
Davis Mills.
Yeah.
Another rookie.
You're right.
Lovie Smith's doing good.
So our matchup here just came down to both teams had a bad week. Just one didn't have quite as bad of a week. So that takes Rightmyer to 0-3 in 10th place. Takes JT Colder Personality to 6th place, 1-2. All right, to our third matchup.
Okay.
We had the battle of December 9th, Broach v. Ransdale.
Roach v. Rensdale, indeed.
So the original projection was 127 to 133 in favor of Broach. Broach pulls it out, 124 to 102.
You know who really hurt Ransdale? Hollywood Brown.
Yeah,
Dude,
he did.
he had like 2 or 3 touchdowns that he just dropped. And I'm talking
Guaranteed
yes,
walk-ins.
like walk-ins. And you're looking at him going from 6.8 to like probably close to 20. Like, I mean,
That could
2 touchdowns, that's 12. And then you add the yards, receptions, something like that.
They lost by
from the drops.
22. I mean, that
That
definitely
changes a lot.
Definitely.
When we did the breakdown, didn't he have Hunt in the lineup? Or am I
No,
Am I going crazy?
Trying
Did
to
he have
convince him to
Gaskin?
put Hunt back in.
Yeah, he took.
I remember somebody saying Hunt, something about Hunt.
I don't think he had Hunt in.
That's
so
what
he
I
didn't
hate
have Hunt.
about having
You just never
2
know.
running backs. You just don't know.
That's why you
What
got to
I'm
start
saying
both.
to
I like-
That's why you got to start both.
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
but do you benefit more from doing that?
I think so.
Is
I like
Kareem Hunt
having
going
either
to put
one
up
of them
15
and
plus?
starting them, but I don't know if I'd feel good about being the guy who owned both of them.
Right.
Like, if I had Kareem Hunt, I would feel good about starting him every week because I'm like, he's a receiving back. He's got that kind of game in him where he could easily.
But if you've got him and
and he
Chubb,
handcuffs in case Chubb does get hurt,
right?
he's a premier, getting a lot more touches.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be weeks where Nick Chubb's going for like 8 yards a carry and breaking big runs and goes for goal line touchdowns. Like, I see what JT's saying. Like, you almost have to start both of them just because he is so valuable in terms of Chubb in a PPR. I mean, not Chubb, excuse me, Hunt. He's so valuable in a PPR league because he comes in and gets checked down, screen balls, and those are half a point.
And he scores.
Yes.
I mean, he's got 2 rush touchdowns this year. Last year he had, like, with Chubb in the lineup, had 6 or 7 touchdowns.
And, I mean, Andrew, like, he even picks up a defense without dropping a defense with Cleveland. And if he had played Cleveland, that's a 12-point.
It was against Chicago.
I know. But, I mean, you know, he left some points kind of on the board.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt in Cleveland. I mean, for sure.
Losing DJ
Shark.
Shark. I mean, I know he played that week, but, you know, he lost him on Thursday.
He went out early, didn't he? He went out first.
Second
Shark,
play.
yeah.
It was an opening
He's
drive.
done for the season.
Oh, that thing broke.
Yeah. Here's my thinking behind the whole Chubb and Hunt thing is, yeah, you're right. You're going to have games where Chubb has 150 yards rush and they're just feeding him the ball. But I think most weeks, Kareem Hunt's still good for about 10 touches. And 10 touches for a talented back, especially like in that offense where Chubb's just like, you know,
Battering around.
right. I think there leaves open some holes for Kareem Hunt to, again, catch a pass, make something happen. I think you're better off just starting both of them and just going with it.
Yeah.
Because again, it's a pretty high floor, in my opinion.
I want to talk about Broach's team for a moment because he left some points on the bench as well. I mean, the surprise on the season has been Kirk Cousins.
Right.
Kirk Cousins has played well.
Yeah, I don't get
check it out. Like, his stats
26,
are
31,
like,
31.
what is he, season ranked number 5 in fantasy football right now?
8 touchdowns, no
Right?
picks.
Oh, man, he's played incredible.
Throwing
The
for
offense
300
didn't
yards a
skip
game.
a beat without Dalvin Cook last week because they just said, hey, Kirk, you're going to throw it 40
And
times.
dude,
However many times you do it.
Look good. And if he put anyone else in his flex, again, like Pittman Jr., I guess Harris would have been losing points, but Ruggs, I mean, both of them look good. Mike Williams.
Mike
Mike
Williams is
Holy crap, man.
I told y'all on draft night that
He's a one.
the offensive coordinator, Lombardi, when he came from the Saints, said Mike Williams is playing the Michael Thomas role in this offense. And I'm like, well, that makes no sense because Keenan Allen is a very similar player to Mike Thomas. Why would you do that? And they're like, no, Mike Williams is playing that role. That's what he's playing, and he looks fantastic.
He crosses the 50 and going into score, like when they get closer to scoring, he looks more Mike Williams than he does Keenan Allen right now. I watched the game. Like he hit Mike Williams on a quick slant.
Who looks like who?
Mike Williams looks
Excuse
like
me.
more like
He
Mike
looks
Thomas.
more-
Let me start back.
Herbert?
I know. I'm probably just confused.
I don't
myself.
know.
Herbert looks for Mike Williams more than he looks for Keenan Allen once it crosses the score.
Okay. All right.
I mean, their targets are almost identical. I mean,
But
Keenan
I
Allen's been top 5 in
I
targets.
feel
the
like
last 5
Keenan
years.
Allen gets like more quick underneath, like
He
early
gets-
in drives, but when the drives get closer to the red zone and in the red zone, Mike Williams has got
Mike Williams has
lot
turned
of
into
targets.
the player that they drafted 7th overall.
He cut his hair and it was like the reverse Samson. He
Dang, I'm right.
all of a sudden got impressive. 7 for 9, 122 and 2 touchdowns. Like, wow.
All right.
18th rank on the season.
What was he drafted?
I'm about to tell you. He was drafted the 6th spot in the 10th round.
God dang.
So receivers that went right before him, Deebo Samuel,
Which
Pretty
is
good.
been pretty good. Laviska Shenault, who's
He's getting targets. He
Jamar
gets scored.
Chase, who's been
Worked out,
pretty
yeah.
good. Michael Thomas, who again,
We don't know yet.
Remains to be seen. But I
DJ
mean,
Chark,
still.
who has played all right.
Yeah,
He's out for the year
week
now.
and then
Marquez Callaway,
he didn't drop.
I think the Saints might have.
Devonta Smith, Antonio Brown. Dude, there were some pretty good receivers
Yeah.
taken around there.
Yeah.
The ones right after Mike Williams were Will Fuller, B,
Yeah.
and who hadn't played except for the last week, right?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Jarvis, Brandon Cooks,
Do me a
Jalen
favor,
Waddle.
because now that we've
I
got,
mean,
we
that's
got
pretty
enough
strong
of a
receiver draft right there.
we
Yeah,
got
it
enough
is.
of a sample size now. Pull up and see the receiver rankings.
The receiver rankings?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, those 10th round wide receivers you just listed have probably all outscored the guy that I drafted in the 3rd round. Stupid Allen Robinson.
All right, let's see. Season total, all players, receivers. All right. So the top. All right, I'll give you the top 10.
One's already been adjusted because of this week.
You got Cooper Kupp at number 1.
Mhm.
Of course.
You got Mike Williams at number 2,
What's the gap you got between two of
12 points.
them? Okay.
Jamar Chase is 3 now. He does have one game
Right,
played.
right.
More. Tyler Lockett is 4.
It was a bad week last week.
Adam Thielen 5.
Uh-huh.
I thought Justin Jefferson would be there. Brandon Cooks 6. Chris Godwin 7. Devontae Adams 8. Debo Samuel 9. Justin Jefferson 10. Dang, so 5 and 10 for Kirk Cousins. Dang, he's been getting it done.
Yeah, yeah.
Adam Thielen just scores all the time.
He does. He does. He
That's what-
and Mike Williams, I think, have the lead for receiving touchdowns.
Everyone keeps
Williams
waiting for
knows Cooper.
his productivity to kind of fall off, but he can still run good routes, and he's a reliable hand guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, if there's anything a quarterback trusts,
He's
is
good
he's
with
going to
hands.
get where he wants him to be, and then he's going to come down with
Like Cliff Frank on one man cold.
it.
Cliff Frank the only one catching it. Cliff Frank the only one coming down.
Down with it.
Oh man,
It's
we
like you
had,
have
a
a
couple,
list when you say that.
we had a couple bold
Try to
predictions.
say
we
Clifford
missed.
Frank.
Go ahead, go over the bowl predictions. Well, no, you know what?
No,
Finish-
we'll have to. We'll
do
finish
it
all the
finish them all, and
matchups.
then we'll go back to it.
I meant to do them. We were going through
That's
each
okay.
individual match.
That's all right.
It's okay.
That's okay.
Next was Jake B. Bryan in week
We
3.
can just skip over this.
Yes.
So,
Hey now.
No,
This
we're not
was-
talking about it.
The week 3 biggest blowout of the week. The
Yes.
original projection was 126 to 143 in favor of Bryan. The total 149 to 119 again in favor of Bryan. Josh Allen.
Wow.
What a
I've
performance!
been waiting on this though. He hasn't done a whole lot of that.
He had 25 points at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah,
And
dude,
I-
he was
it's
insane.
a good day for me.
Uh-oh.
He was putting up numbers quick, son.
Oh,
Well, we
God.
just
I
talked
think,
about
he ran,
Adam
I think he
Thielen.
ran one in with like 5 minutes to go in the 4th. Like, why are you running him up 20? I don't know.
Yeah, you had a good week, man. You had a really good week outside of Cooper and Mike Davis 9. That's not. 9 decent.
Yeah, I don't want to play Mike Davis again.
Don't do it
With
then.
Thielen getting
I
touchdowns.
asked you on Saturday, you thought about putting Jamar Chase in?
I said, thought about putting Cordell Patterson in.
Stop talking. Don't bring it up this week. Don't ask what I'm thinking.
And then I asked you, have you thought about putting in Curtis Samuel? And you said no. So that made me happy.
It
'cause he
doesn't
was
matter,
gone.
man. You're 3-0.
Yeah, I know.
And you're putting up big points.
Yeah, you put up big points.
Starting to.
And
DeAndre Swift looked good.
Swift did look
Or
good.
hold on, DeAndre or DJ? I forget.
DeAndre.
DeAndre. He's looked really good.
DJ Swift, he's at the club on Saturday nights.
And I keep hearing the OC, or the head coach, excuse me, in Detroit says we're going to get him the ball more.
Yeah, he's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie.
God, this is going to be a terrible podcast this week.
Why do you keep saying that every time we record?
Because every time I hear it, and it just sounds like dog doo-doo. I'm not going to cuss this week.
Wow.
Because I cussed so much last week.
You did. You cussed a lot last
You
week.
did.
Mainly
More
at
than
me.
I did.
Brian had 45 from Josh Allen, but Matt Stafford closed the gap there with 37.
Stafford had a great game.
He is a gap closer.
Well,
LA looked good, man. I expected Tampa to win.
LA look good. When LA look good,
They look real good,
they look
man.
real good.
I look good, man. I look nasty, man.
Elliott had a good game.
Yeah, Elliott had a good game. Cooper Kupp continues to be the top receiver in the NFL right now.
Daggum right.
It's just after that, things kind of fell off. We're very top heavy this week, Jake.
the one that hurts me the most is Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of drafted him with the expectations of what had happened at the end of last year.
Mhm.
I hope with Wentz having kind of a quarterback maybe in there that looked good in Philly with no offensive line and no receivers, that he might be somewhat productive and it would become more of a balanced approach. Here's a crazy stat that I heard this week.
Let me hear it.
Jonathan Taylor has the most red zone carries in the NFL.
Yep.
Yet has not gotten the end zone yet.
Yep.
That is true.
So I was watching that game. think he kind of drove him down, had a couple of big runs on a drive, and they get to the 7, and he came out, and Naheem Hines
the
came
goal
in
line
and
back,
got the toss left and scored. And I'm like, I was so mad. But then, Zeke Elliott drove Dallas down to like the 1-inch line, and they tried to sneak it across with Dak, and I was like, man, I don't get it. But
Yeah.
I thought they learned their lesson about running him.
I thought
last
he
year.
got in the end zone on that carry.
I think he did, but
I
they
thought
called
he
him
did.
down.
I don't. And
They
they
called him
reviewed it
down,
and everything.
and when you review it,
he was
you couldn't see it enough to overturn it, but I think he was in.
Yeah, Zeke had a bad week 1, but week 2, 16, week 3, 25.
Yeah,
he's definitely
he's
trending in a
coming
better
back.
direction.
I think
It's about time for Dak to break his leg or something.
I think him and Pollard is kind of like the Cleveland situation we've been talking about.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think it's helping save him a little bit, where he's not getting 28 touches and just getting worn out quick. Like
Keep him fresh.
I think there's something to
Apparently,
that.
Deshaun
Where
had 28 touches.
Both
Am I
teams can be
Am
pretty.
I right? Am I right, boys? Huh?
But we've also seen over the last 2
Serious
weeks,
moment.
because of the efficient running game with Zeke and Pollard, Dak's numbers like going down. Like even Amari Cooper that you have, Brian, had a huge week 1, but since then has been
His targets are going
Yeah.
down.
3.9, 4.1 past 2 weeks.
He got rocked against the Chargers, and they said he had bruised ribs. So
That is
that-
true.
He's got
that
broken
could've
ribs. He's got 1 cracked rib.
Thank you.
been. How many
Sure.
baby backs he got?
so him and Kyle Pitts.
I don't
Like
know.
they're pretty big disappointments.
Where you at? Where you at with Kyle Pitts right now?
I'm gonna ride it. Just
You have to.
Yeah,
The
I kinda do.
consistency's coming.
It's
coming.
still like you read something on it and they're like, "Hey, don't forget this guy's 6'5" and runs a 4.40 and is a tight end." So like the physical capabilities that he has is there. They said the biggest issue is that Atlanta is not taking deep shots at all. Like
They
Calvin-
can't.
Offensive
He
line.
doesn't have enough time.
Cameron Ridley hasn't had like a real big performance.
Russell Gage got
Pitts,
hurt.
who wants to be vertical and take on a linebacker or a safety, he's not getting those opportunities. So
If you
I
can't do
hope
it against
Atlanta
the Giants,
figures
though,
out-
who can you do it against?
The midgets.
Did you say the midgets?
I don't know, man. You just kind of hope they eventually are like maybe start working a new system in to get him the ball quick.
What do you mean that bad? They were always bad.
Pat
They
Ryan's
had one good
immobile.
year.
They've had a couple good years.
They
They
were
were
bad.
bad.
They haven't been.
No
Their
running
defense has always been
They've
bad.
got
Their
no
offensive
running
line has
game.
been at best.
Offensive line has never been good. The only good offensive lineman they had was Alex Mack. He hadn't been there for a couple of years. And then they lost Julio, who's just a physical freak of nature.
They
And
should
that-
have traded Julio.
That was my biggest hope, is that Kyle Pitts would come in and kind of take some of that role.
Big Julio.
Yeah, and take some big targets.
With
and-
time,
and
he
have-
would.
Well, yeah.
But he needs it this year.
Yeah.
I know he does. I'm just trying to give him future hope for maybe
I mean,
future
Draft
drafts.
him next year.
It's a long season, and maybe things change over the course of it. It's not like I'm going to drop him.
It's the longest
Nah,
season
you
we've
can't
ever
drop
seen.
him.
It's not like
You're
there's
right.
any tight ends
Shut
available.
up.
We can ask Rightmyer that.
Yeah, you might just roll the dice. Hopefully it hits.
It's the longest season we've ever seen.
That's an ongoing theme this year.
What a douche.
All right, so that takes Brian.
I did want to ask
3-0.
Brian about
Go
a
ahead.
couple of his injuries, because you
Okay.
have Claypool now
Claypool's gonna be out
but
this
I mean,
week.
you have Chase ready to go.
Uh-huh.
I really like that you already handcuffed yourself with Swift, because Williams has looked good in most of his games as well.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean,
Yes.
Good
Right.
job.
Thank you.
even James Conner on your bench, man, 17.8 last week. So,
Are you stroking my ego?
well, you put up 150 and you had
Let
one,
go of my
2,
ego.
3, 4 guys on your bench go over 10 points.
It's always a good week.
Yes.
So,
Curtis Samuel got you 0, though.
yeah, that one
What
hurt.
a
Bash hasn't done
loser.
anything on here, so I'm on a team.
I mean, he's
That's
better.
true. I cut him. I
Better than
trust
Jarvis
him. He
Landry.
got that third 0.
So we don't need you anymore.
That's funny.
Get out of here.
That takes Brian to 3-0, and in first place drops
Oh,
Jake to
wow.
2-1, but still remaining in third. All right, for last week's week 3 matchup of the week, we had Ryan of the Fantasy Phenoms versus Jordan, formerly of Jordan's football team.
Now of
What's
$10.99 an hour for.
What does that mean?
Add something for interpretation, fellas.
Yeah.
Is Jordan doing some
I don't know.
think
This
on
is,
Sunday
this
he
is
is.
Jordan?
He
He's
is,
in financial
this
trouble.
advertising.
He's got
What's
another
his
youngin' on the
CJ?
way. Got another youngin' on the way. Got to make that extra cash. He is
Does
not
he
a
have
handsome
another
man,
year?
though.
Is he 7 and a third?
Everybody knows that.
Everybody know that.
You're the
Damn,
only one who
Jake.
didn't know that.
Mazel tov.
Hey, congratulations.
Say it a little bit louder. Let him hear it. He's not ashamed of it.
Hey, congratulations, Ryan.
All right,
Proud of
anyways.
you, buddy.
That was an awkward silence.
Why'd you make that awkward?
Yeah, why did you make that awkward?
I'm sorry, everybody.
All right, so the original projection
Hey,
was
everybody.
136 to 132 in favor of Ryan. The final score, much
It's
different than the
not
projection.
necessary to say out loud.
110 to 84 in favor of Jordan. Ryan, what happened, man?
I didn't watch this Jacksonville Arizona game. Was Jacksonville's D that good?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, Murray still had a good game. He's threw for 300 plus. He just didn't have any passing touchdowns.
Murray.
I think Connor ran him in.
Yeah, Connor had 2 rushing touchdowns, correct?
Yes.
And then Murray had 1 rushing.
Had a
Washington touchdown.
Washington
no Washington
touchdown.
odds.
Austin Eckler looked good for you. Tyler Higbee looked pretty good. Outside of that, Ryan.
What happened to Tyson?
He got like 3 carries, and they decided, you know what, we'll just bring in.
Screw it.
Hold on. I got to read this bold projection.
Okay.
I thought we were waiting.
We're waiting to do that later.
Who did
Ryan says Tyson Williams is as good as Derrick Henry.
That's not.
That's what he
That's
said.
not what I
That's
said.
what he said.
I said I need to have a bold prediction. I said he should keep pace with Derrick Henry, and then you said write down that he's as good as Derrick Henry. I said fine.
Tyson Williams, 2.2. Let me go find Mr. Oh, Henry's right.
Henry's right across from him. Yeah, that's
and
the
he
reason why.
had 17.9. Can you pull that up real quick and see the point differential on the year?
From the year,
Between the two of them?
Tyson Williams has
28,
28.
29.
And
Mr. Henry?
Henry
had
had
maybe that'll like 2
49.7
carries.
just on 1 week.
I mean, I don't see a difference.
Trying to
here,
do
guys.
math.
We're splitting
Do
hairs.
math. It is
75.
75 to 20, what?
2.
20. Oh, hey, look. What pace? When Henry comes back around for lap 2, they'll be even.
You guys
Y'all think
I
you're
thought
so
you did
smart.
Look, I was going to hold on to those bold predictions, but when you said Tyson Williams, it clicked in my mind that Ryan said something.
You can't trust anything Ryan says. He doesn't know what he's
Nah,
talking
he
about.
said Tyson Williams be as good as Derrick Henry. Don't trust him. Georgia's team looked pretty good in places. Tom Brady 30, Keenan Allen 15, Henry 17.
Pop with a bad week.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't expect that.
I mean, he was playing hurt. He shouldn't have played, but he
Man.
doesn't miss games.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be
And
out.
everyone was like, Juju's look good. You know,
Juju
especially
went out
with
too.
Juju got hurt.
Juju not feel good.
Bad Juju.
Hey,
Bad Juju.
speaking of
Okay.
bold predictions, if we're going to go off the
JT
rails,
says Juju has 8 catches.
what did Jake
He
say
got hurt.
about Juju?
Let's see. Jake says good Juju.
What does that
That's all he
mean,
said.
though?
I
What does
don't
that
know.
mean?
Speaking of
He
that,
could have been a good guy throughout the course of the game.
Speaking-
You don't know, Ryan. Did he get ejected? No. So he was a good guy.
Maybe
Shook hands, hug. That's
Dancing makes some people
Mom was
happy.
doing it. Was
Yeah.
wonderful.
He was a good
Juju had 3 catches, 25 receptions before he got hurt. He actually-
3 catches and 25 receptions?
God dang, how did he
Yeah,
do
hit
that?
a
What's
good-
the
hit a good
difference?
game.
He fumbles it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Hit a good game.
1, 2,
Catch,
3,
catch,
4,
catch.
5, 6.
It's like when you try to get a rebound, you just keep throwing it off the backboard.
Pad
Pad
stats.
stats.
We know.
Stat pattern.
We know.
Yes.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, Jordan just had more.
More points.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
No way to put it.
That's how you win them. That is how you win them.
More consistent.
Did you only have 2 guys go over 10?
3.
Oh, 3, sorry.
Don't be a dick, Jake.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You did have Chase Evans on your bench with 11. Tim Patrick
Eckler looked good.
with 12.
Yeah.
Eckler looked good.
I need besides this week, because I really enjoyed it, I need Tyreek Hill to start producing again.
Well,
you
they're
think
on
teams
a
are
one
going to, like, that's kind of how teams have been playing him now. Let's take away big play from Tyreek, and if he wants to keep throwing underneath,
Yep. Just
like it slows their offense down.
turn them back into what Alex Smith had to do.
Yep.
Like, don't let them just get that 40-yard
Break a
bomb over
leg.
the top.
All right, this week I'm already back in the bowl prediction.
Oh, wow.
Tyreek Hill, write it down, Scribe.
That would be
Tyreek
wild.
Hill,
Go bold. Don't be soft on this.
Come on, man.
Go hard.
9 catches. 9 catches.
Whoa, you went way too far
That's
for a
big.
guy
That's a little
that
too
makes
big.
9
You
catches.
should have gone fantasy
120
points.
yards.
Holy crap,
Touchdowns?
Trog.
Touchdown.
One touchdown.
One touchdown.
To 120.
120.
Golly. I'd have just said
9,
like, he's
120
going over
touchdown.
15 fantasy points.
No,
Like,
I'm
make
giving you a stat line. They're going to get it to him at the line of scrimmage because they got to find ways to get him the ball.
What you going to play by play now?
No, they're going to throw a
How
couple
many
screens.
screens?
They're
How
going
many?
to throw a
How
couple
many?
screens.
How
They're going to put the ball in his
many?
hands.
You're gonna be this detailed. You guys have how many screens?
Screens? I can't
You
call it.
digging
the
a
left
hole,
or to the
Trogger.
right?
You're getting too
Can't
deep.
call it. Can't call
He can't call it.
it. But
I
You're
can't
good.
call
they're
it.
going to have Tyreek around the line of scrimmage, and then they're going to send him.
Smash,
Then they're gonna
smash.
Then they're going to send him on a go.
Can't call
Mahomes is going to hit him with a bomb, and that's how he's going to get to 120.
You talking about 9 catches
Talk about that 9
in
catches.
a loaded offense.
Yeah.
Man.
Travis Kelce does this every week.
Yeah, that's Travis Kelce, not Tyreek
Right.
Hill.
Tyreek had
They're going to get him involved. They're going to get
9
him
of
involved.
14 in game 1.
What's the most receptions? What's the most targets he's had this year?
15.
Tyreek had 15. He had 11 catches in week 1.
Okay. What's it been since then?
4 and 7.
3 catches on 4 targets, 5 catches on 7 targets.
Okay, so
Teams have been trying to take him away.
Nine.
That's
But they're-
doable. That's
Right, but they're
doable.
going to get him the ball close to the line. They got to get the ball in his
So
hands.
you're
dude had
basically
200
going along
plus
week
yards.
1 lines.
Hey.
Yeah, but it's not going to be as vertical.
Urgh.
He'll hit one deep ball
He had 200 plus yards in the first quarter last year.
That was last year.
against Tampa.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
He was on pace for 800 yards, Bryan,
Yeah.
in one game.
Okay.
And like 12 touchdowns.
That was
Here's
last
this.
year.
Yeah.
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
Well, in week 1, he had 100.
2 weeks ago. now you thought up you with me white now. Okay? 2 weeks ago, he went off.
He got a big
really to offend people this week.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. We need to be nicer on this podcast.
Shut the hell up.
Hey,
Oh,
said
you said you were
Got him!
All right,
All right, that takes Jordan.
Take that.
Take that. Takes Jordan to 2-1 in second place. Takes Bryan to 2-1 in fourth place.
dollar and swear jar.
All right, what was next, Ryan? Was it our bold predictions or standing?
Pick standings update.
All right, well, I missed on all.
All right, so me and Jake last week went 3-2
oh,
wow. to bring our season totals to both 9 and 6.
okay, they speak the same thing.
Yeah.
Brian and JT both went 1-4.
Oh,
Which is
things.
after going
things.
what 5-0 last week
Yeah, I went
for
5-0.
JT. He went 1-4 this week, brings him to 8-7.
Yep.
Brian went 1-4 this week to bring his record to 6-9.
Bring it up the
What
rear.
a loser!
That loser's in first place, asshole.
Now,
Damn it, I did it again. Damn it, I did it again.
That's a loop.
I eat because I'm unhappy, and I'm unhappy because I eat.
That's a slippery slope right there.
Let's keep falling down.
All right.
All right, nice. Let's talk trade review, Tom.
Trey, review time. Are we going to hit the rest of our bold predictions from last week?
Oh, we're gonna do that? I thought you already read them all.
Let's read them all. No, let's see what else happened.
Fellow, all right.
See what else happened.
We're going to.
There was-
We're going to keep up with who hits on both predictions.
I
I
wrote
can-
down the.
I'll
like,
write checks or mine.
I wrote the nets for last week.
All right, so
Talk football.
first one JT already spoiled. Ryan says Tyson Williams is as good as Henry.
Check
That's,
it out. Check it out.
a
I dare
false statement. Facebook fact checker said that did not happen. All right. Also been spoiled by JT. JT says Juju 8 catches. That didn't happen. Not off to a good start. Next one. Brian says Brady outscored by Murray by at least 10 points.
That is
off.
true.
That definitely didn't happen.
Brady outscored Murray?
No.
No,
Outscored
he says Brady is
by-
outscored
Oh,
by
nah,
Murray.
he's wrong, man.
I think
You were way wrong.
on the matchup breakdown, I think
Idiot.
everybody went Brady except for me, and I was scared of him. Because
Yeah, you're
Tom,
right.
Tom scares me.
Tom.
Versus Tom. He's still winning. Next one. Brian makes week 4 prediction. Don't start Carolina DST. Which, that was during week 3. Why it was in week...
Oh, that's for this
No,
week.
it'll be
Yeah,
carried
yeah.
over. It's a carryover.
I stand by it.
To be determined.
But we're going to talk about that here in a minute because that was a trade this week.
Mr. T's over there. All right, Brian says Michael go boom at 1 p.m. Basically, Michael's going to set his lineup right at 1 o'clock. That was
And
a
he
check.
did. That's
Got
a check. That's
Got
a check.
Oh, wow.
Stats say yes.
JT says CMC comes back week 8. To be determined.
Okay.
But boy, we can go ahead and say we can talk about that a little bit.
Okay, it's not an hour.
They didn't put him on IR,
No.
and IR is minimum 3 games.
Yep.
It's like Jake said that he had almost like a week and a half that you didn't have to worry about him.
Yep.
So it's looking like he's going to be out 2 games. They'll ease him back in.
No, I doubt it.
They'll ease, you think they're going to throw him right back in the fire?
Of course. If I got
I
a guy,
think it depends on what Jimmy
if
does.
I got a guy that's that good, and I'm like, I kind of want him to play all the time.
But, all right.
That's
What's Carolina's next 2 games? We got
I
Dallas.
Dallas,
and
Philly.
Philadelphia.
That is your next
Dallas
two.
and Philly.
Yeah.
All right, so if Chuba does good, if we go at least 1-1, which I think we will.
That's a good call.
If Carolina goes 1-1, Chuba does good, I think they will ease him back in.
I think
Who will
the
be his first game back against who?
Week 6, Minnesota.
Now, when you're saying ease him back
Could
in,
be
you're
a
saying
big game
like
with
he's
Kirk
going to
Cousins
play
playing.
50% of the snaps or
Yeah,
not
no, he'll
play.
still get the majority. I think he'll do
Oh.
50-55.
Okay.
I really want to build on what Bryan is saying real quick because in the years past, Carolina has had a different back than McCaffrey. What I mean by that, Mike Davis is a power back, kind of
Right.
like what Royce Freeman.
Yeah,
probably
like
gonna be
fire
asked
and
to be
ice
that.
type, different
Yeah.
type
But
styles.
this is one of the first times you have a guy who's
A trash-
compatible.
a trash
Yes,
star.
like this guy was 2 years ago was going to be the number one running back taken in the draft.
Mhm.
Had a bad returning year and fell in the draft. But like what you just said, he was a track stud.
Yeah,
in high
Boy
school.
gets open field, he's
Yeah,
gone.
I mean, so very comparable
Yeah, I mean-
skill set.
Yeah.
So like if he comes in and finds any kind of like mojo that he had while at OK
Well, he
State,
kind of showed that
So
last
he
week.
lost
Yeah.
his mojo.
No, he hasn't been.
Baby.
He's got to. It's like he's got to wind up. But when he played in the second half last week, he started producing.
yeah.
But just in a standard game with McCaffrey,
Dance, monkey, dance. Wind up, pussy.
when he's just alternating and gets 7-8 attempts a game, he's not going to produce a lot.
Yeah. So
Especially as a rookie. So I think this week you could see you'll see a good dose of Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah. All right.
Chuba Bubba.
Next bold prediction from last week. Brian says no TDs for Gronk.
He was correct.
that was good. Oh,
I'm a
wow.
Gronk master, Bubba.
Well, next one. I
Is he
don't know
gonna have
who-
any this week?
All right, let's see.
Not for the foreseeable future, Jay.
Brian says
Thank you, Bob.
Brian says this is the Washington game. Ryan says DK all day.
DK.
Who had the better
DK
game?
had a
DK.
DK had 19.
Who
Like
called that one?
Ryan is right. Brian is wrong. So I'm
That's a first.
1 for 2. Whatever. Brian's like 5 for 6. Jake says good juju. And Chubb outscores Kamara.
Oh,
I don't know if either
Pull
one
that
of
one
them
up.
had a good
Pull
game.
that one up.
I know. That's why it's a good one to look at.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I know
Chubb.
good juju was a no, even though he did have good
Hey,
good
we
morale,
don't know.
good personality.
But
No,
bad
I lost
juju.
that one. Kamara had 19.3 and Chubb had 8.4.
Okay, so
I'm not doing good on this week at all so far,
yeah.
boys.
And then the last one.
How'd you give me your watch?
So
All
you
right.
keep time.
The last
Just
one
gotta
is
Listen to this.
Brian
You
says
didn't even know where we started, did you?
Brian says this about Claypool. Throw ball at him, good thing happens.
Well, what did he do last week? I thought he had
And
a
the
good
ball.
week.
And a bad thing happened.
He
Now
got
he's not playing this
He
week.
had 14.1 last week.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
you
well,
throw
good
it
thing
out.
that-
Good things up.
He got hurt, but I mean, yeah, he did have 14.
All right, check. Brian had a good week prediction wise, and
Jake
everybody
did
else,
not. He was
everybody
over.
else is stupid. And JT made one in the future saying CMC's coming back week 8. We can't tell.
Well, Brian
And
may
he
go in
also
the future too.
I have noticed,
But
that
he was
you don't
also
listen
good on
to me
all of his
about
present
fantasy
ones.
advice. Like I give the worst fantasy advice. None of mine have hit.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you give apparently really good fantasy
So
advice.
I'm saying
especially
first
when it
place,
comes
boys.
to-
Follow the leader.
Man's got a point. One last year and he's in first place right now.
And his team looks really good.
Well,
You want to coach my team?
yeah, sure.
Am
Well, give me control of your lineup for this week. I'll see what I can do.
I, who am I playing? Am I playing you?
Well, why didn't you do that before Thursday?
Yeah.
Hell no, I am playing you. No.
I see what you're up to.
I was like,
No wonder
that
you-
was-
I'm a cookie to something up.
Nice try, fella.
I'm on
Got you,
now.
bitch.
I did it again.
Why do I have 0?
Swear George's getting pretty full.
I'm going to buy y'all lunch. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get you lunch next
Bob's a
week.
restaurant with how much you cussed last week. Okay.
Come on.
What we got next, Ron?
The nun over here.
Trade review.
Trade review.
Trade review.
Could
Segue.
always be a fryer.
Segue.
review.
No.
Trade.
Gotta be a woman.
All right, so the only trade that went down this week was
Going down for real.
between me and Rightmyer. On Wednesday, I sent Rightmyer Rob Gronkowski and A.J. Dillon.
Yep.
For Miles Sanders.
Yep.
And Rightmyer accepted.
Yep.
And Rightmyer's mad.
and I
And
texted him this morning and tell him,
tough break.
sorry. Yeah, so
Sucks to be you.
You should have said gotcha,
It's already
bitch.
been processed.
If there was ever a time in your life that you can say gotcha, bitch, that's the time.
I feel bad.
Stand
I really do.
man.
Because I didn't think anything about Gronk being like injured. He
I
got
definitely didn't think he would miss the return to New
No,
England.
no
In my
way.
mind, there was no way he'd miss it.
No way. He came back in the game last week, and then they're playing New England this week. And
They're like he's
didn't
banged
cross
up,
my
and I'm
mind.
like, all right. Well, Gronk's always banged up every year.
Right.
Like he's battling this or that.
Him and Roethlisberger, it doesn't matter. They're still going to be in the lineup.
I mean, I know there was a player in Boston, Patrice Bergeron, who played in the playoff game with broken ribs and a punctured
Oh
lung. So
my
I'm just saying Rob
gosh.
Gronkowski's soft. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not.
No, don't
Go
make
ahead.
it.
Go ahead.
Don't think
I'm
that
not.
was bad.
I'm not doing it.
But as we know, yesterday Gronk was downgraded to doubtful, and then this morning they declared him out, not just for this week, but potentially
Possibly multiple.
for multiple weeks.
Oh.
So that was supposed to kind of clear up the tight end
Gronk's pissed at
issues.
Rightmyer right now because he's like, because I'm on this guy's team, I automatically get him 0 points.
Yeah, Yahoo said, we can't give him a full point for the tight end. You saw what he did last
He's
year.
still
with Dow-
searching for a full point. He can't
Yeah.
find it.
Dude, that's rough.
Why would Tommy Tremble, is he worth the pickup?
Yeah.
I think
like
so too.
NFL trade, kind of segue into that since
Good
we
call.
kinda-
Darnold
we haven't analyzed this full
To Arnold,
trade
it's
yet.
no more.
I mean,
The trade
he
worked
loses
out.
Gronk, which
I would have done if I was Rightmyer before I knew that Gronk was going to be out. I
Oh
would've
my
done that
God,
trade
it just
for
hit me.
Where
You
my
were talking
water
about
bottle
we
is?
were talking about the Carolina special teams thing, and you said there was a trade, and I'm thinking, I don't remember y'all trading Carolina's defense in your trade,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what is Jay talking about?
Dan
C.J.
Arnold and
Henderson.
C.J.
Yeah.
Henderson,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think that was
Yeah.
a good trade.
Yes.
Ha! Here I am, up to date.
Oh,
Carry
well.
on.
Wayward son.
We've already gone through that one.
All right, so now I want to ask you a couple questions.
on.
Okay.
So Miles Sanders.
Does it burn when you pee?
no.
That's good.
Still hesitation.
Feels
So-
working.
2 years ago, Miles Sanders going in as a first-round running back, right? So enormous amount of potential, very elusive in the open field, definitely more creative, kind of in open space than he is kind of like run it down your throat kind of guy.
Yeah.
Had a slow start in some regards to this season. What did he have? 3 touches last week?
Yeah.
It was
I think he
extremely-
had 3 carries and 1 reception.
2 carries, 3 receptions.
I'm running my
Okay,
math
so-
check. Who are we talking about?
Miles
Sanders.
So
I looked at Ryan. I really didn't know.
I didn't
So
either
go
until he
ahead,
said
go ahead.
3
I'm-
carries
I
and
guess,
figured it
are
out.
you banking on the potential that he has as an athlete and like where he was a couple years ago to kind of break out of this shell that he's in?
Like a turtle.
I need running backs.
Yeah.
And that was.
He had a running back.
And he
When I
I
looked
took said
When I
running
looked at who needed a tight end, it became pretty obvious it was Rightmyer.
Yeah.
And so when I looked at Rightmyer's team, I'm like, all right, who could I trade
Value-wise.
just a tight end for?
Yes.
At first, that's all I sent.
That's
And I
tough
was-
to do.
Right.
So you didn't feel good asking for James Robertson?
No, I didn't feel good asking for
Okay.
James Robinson because I knew that was too.
Already
that's
been
gonna be
there,
too
already
much.
done that.
That's
So-
gonna be too much.
So who was the other one you would have looked at? Melvin Gordon?
I thought about Melvin Gordon for Gronk straight up, but I'm like, well, hold on. If I'm going to trade Gronk, I'm going to trade him for somebody that
you know
I
is gonna be
think
the guy.
has a little bit more potential.
Little upside
So
to it.
then
Because you
I
think
sent Gronk just for Miles Sanders, and then start thinking about it. I'm like, dude, I wouldn't even accept that.
Yeah.
So then I put in A.J. Dillon. That solidifies him a running back 1.
That's
Yeah.
a handcuff for his own running back.
Right.
Yeah, that's
and
a
then
big
you
boy.
give
So
him
I
a
thought
tight
it.
end.
I thought it worked for both parties.
It was
No,
a
I
good
thought that
trade.
was a smart trade for Rightmyer when it went through. I was like, man, he can afford to do that, especially if James Robinson gets more
The logic,
use in the Jacksonville offense, which he did Thursday as well.
yeah, but
and
Carlos
then
Hyde was
handcuffs.
out on Thursday night, so it was like if Carlos Hyde plays, does Urban Meyer actually give James Robinson the carries he deserves?
I think
He should.
Urban
From
Meyer's
what
an
I-
idiot if he doesn't ride.
I saw an
He should've
article
done
this
it
week
based off
that
last
said
year. He
Robinson
didn't
is
do it.
expected to get more carries. I think Urban Meyer's finally going to just buy into
Yeah,
it.
man, he's a good player.
Because, I mean, look, he's let Lawrence throw the football so much up to this point, and it's not working out.
I agree with what you were saying. Like, I know Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams has been a kind of a 50-50 split so far. I have Javonte on my team, but I would prefer to have the rookie running back as the season progresses
Right.
because I think they usually get better while the veterans.
What's your trust percentage of Melvin Gordon to at least maintain where he's at right now for the rest of the year?
To be honest with you, even looking at Rightmyer's team, I don't see Melvin Gordon really cracking his lineup unless something happened to Javonte.
I
I think
Melvin
it's
Gordon will be a free agent by week 12.
if he has any more injuries, he might have to make another pickup or another tight end addition or something. He's going with Knox this week, who had a good week last week, did he not?
Yeah, Knox.
Knox?
12.
He had 12.9, so I
That's
mean,
6, 8, and 12.
He
each
picked
week
up-
he's had more than Rightmyer's all tight ends combined on the
He
year.
picked up Cameron Brake with the Gronk news, so he might throw him in there. I mean, Rightmyer just tried not to put a tight end in there at all. See how it works.
You know what? Don't pick up Trimble.
Is he scared?
I'm scared.
Okay.
So
Because every tight end he's picked up has
let's vote on before injury news, good trade on both sides.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was.
And I don't think it's something where we look at it now saying like JT ripped him off because the injury news broke after the trade was already finalized.
And
But
Rightmyer had to
can you
accept the
see-
trade anyway. So the news would come out like he wouldn't have accepted it. So
Can you
everybody was on the
see
same page.
if anybody voted against it, even if it comes up anonymous, can you see if anybody voted against it? Because we can.
I'll look.
I mean, if anybody did, don't name names.
Why?
Well, it's kind of a confidential thing.
You voted against it?
No, I don't vote against
I thought it was a good
I've told
trade.
y'all, I've got 3 people I vote against every trade they put up. Every year, no matter who it is.
Is it Jordan because you've tried to vote him
No,
out
I
of the
will
league?
never name the names.
No, is it me?
Well, you've narrowed it down 3
You
out
know,
of 10. It's
he
not
was-
himself.
He voted against my trade. That's what.
No, I did not.
You cuss a lot at me lately.
Yeah. Because
Doesn't
we
mean
live
all
in
the
it.
time.
So what's next? Waiver wire.
Waiver wire wrap up. Well, can I make one proposed segue while we're
Change on
talking
the
about
whole
it?
plan.
Absolutely.
3 Panther fans here, and I feel like a lot of people that listen to us in our league are also Panther fans. Big trade for us this week.
That's a great trade.
Thought Tommy Trimble shown an enormous amount of potential. Think they wanted to get him on the field. Think they looked at the Darnold-Arnold connection as like this is a piece we can move on from. And
Ian Thomas is a
you
stud.
get the number 1
Ian
corner from
Thomas
the
is
pick
flop.
2 years ago.
Corner
CJ.
out of Florida.
Brady has really talked highly about Trump.
Well, the thing that I like about CJ Henderson the most is that him and JC Horn are basically identical. They're
Physical.
big, they're physical, they
Yeah.
want to play press man. And the one thing the Panthers have been doing has really been like, let's create more quarterback pressure.
Yeah.
And in doing that, you better be able to man up on the outsides because if you back off in any kind of way, they'll get it out quick.
Underneath little checks.
Yeah.
Is he getting playing time tomorrow?
I think they were kind of saying we'll base it on CJ's comfortability. Like, we don't want to rush him. We
I
want to
heard
make
Phil
him.
Snow's defense is really intricate, and it takes a while to
Totally.
figure it
I
out.
think the one thing that would be more interesting to see is if he's coming in and taking that kind of like Horn was manning up a lot. They also bought AJ Boye or Boy. How do you say it?
Booyah.
Booyah. He should be active this week, but me and Bryan had talked earlier in the week about maybe that's a
I think
transition
he'll be
to
more of a safety.
a safety,
Yeah.
which I like because I think safeties are so intricate in guarding the slot and tight end now. I like having a corner that's used to covering kind of in
Well,
a
he
bad
was
situation.
basically when they brought him in, they said he was going to be more of a nickel type.
But-
So I mean that, you know, he can
So
nickel to safety. Is not.
to bring it to like a fantasy perspective, I think this helps a defense where Carolina's defense has been a top 5 defense. I think.
It's been the number 1 defense.
I don't know about fantasy wise. I can check.
I
I
know
don't
we've
know
been
about
really good
fantasy. They
against the
don't have a ton
run
of
and
turnovers.
really good against the pass so far this year. I mean, we've.
I'll tell you fantasy wise where they're
They
at.
haven't had a ton of turnovers. so
I think
probably
it
about
helps.
7.
I really like the potential moving forward with basically
Yeah,
having
Fifth?
having 2 of the last or the 2 first overall corners picked.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, they
Is
got
that
the
worded
top
correctly?
corner pick
Yep.
back here.
Only
And-
first corner
They
draft.
got the second least amount of points given.
Yeah, I think they've
Played
been.
some
But I mean,
solid
tomorrow,
teams
look.
with Houston and the Jets, but you can only play the teams that are on your schedule.
I
I mean,
sent you.
but then
Did
the
you see
Saints
what I
bounce
sent you?
back.
Did you look at what I sent you?
I did.
So
I'll read it to you. Keep talking. I'll follow.
Most sacks in NFL.
does Dan Arnold get any kind of fantasy value down in Jacksonville?
I mean,
Or does
Jacksonville
Tommy
wanted him.
Yeah.
He was on the field
Well,
goal.
he
line
had some
Thursday
big
night.
catches.
Yeah, he had 2 or 3 catches. So he looked good.
So, I
And
mean,
does
this
Tommy
could be a
Trimble
good
worth a
marriage either
look
way.
for anybody? Because we all know Ian Anderson is not the guy. They don't want him to be the guy anymore. They gave him
I
3
think
years.
I think he looks good for the Braves.
Oh, I said Ian Anderson. Ian
Hey,
Thomas.
hey,
Ian Thomas. Thank
Ian
you.
Thomas has been that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Ian Thomas has the physical capability, just never.
Yeah,
never turn
he
it
doesn't
in.
even look like he's even separating as much as what he did early in his career.
All
So.
right. So with the undefeated teams, okay, because everybody says Panthers haven't played anybody. The Panthers' opponents have a combined record of 3-6. Raiders' opponents' record are 3-6.
Broncos.
Cardinals' opponents' record are 3-6. Rams' opponents' record is 2-7, and the Broncos' opponents' record is 0-9.
That's a good stat.
All
to bring.
them suck. The
Very
whole
well
league
done.
sucks. Except for
No,
like
the undefeated
8
teams are
teams.
just, you can say the whole undefeated. Like the Rams, I mean, the Panthers can't compete with the Rams. I think the Panthers can compete with the Raiders.
Dude, I don't think the Raiders are good.
We'll find out on Monday night.
And I think the Panthers are going to be in for a little bit of a hurting this week. This
is a big
you want
week.
to talk about a risky pickup if you need a quarterback? Darnold is he's going to have to really step out that box this week.
Well, Dallas's defense.
So
looked pretty
Darnold's
good
either
past
going
2
to
weeks.
break out this week and have a minimum 23, 24 points, or Darnold's going to falter tremendously in a bad week for Darnold, let's say 14.
Okay.
He's not going to be
Which
anywhere
way
between
which way are you leaning?
Pick a side.
You're picking big week. I know you are.
I'm
Come on,
going
man,
to go
be
big
bold.
week. I'm going to go
I know
big
you
week.
are.
I'm going to go big week.
I
'Cause
mean-
I think Dallas has a great defense. Well, I think Dallas has a good defense.
Good.
All right.
They have a great corner on that defense.
Let me ask you this: how many points can Carolina's defense hold Dak and the Dallas offense to?
28.
For Carolina to win, they got to hold Dallas to 17, which I think is doable.
I want you to say
I think
what
that's
do you
doable.
think
I'm
Carolina
not writing
holds
that one down.
Dallas to? I want you to go.
What I think they will,
Yep.
I think Dallas scores 24 this week.
I think they put up like 38.
Do your job, Scribe.
24 for Dallas.
That's why you're here.
Carolina?
27.
No, 17.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
give
so
them
you
a
got Carolina
touchdown.
losing.
I think Dallas's defense is like everyone
You said
talks about
24?
Dallas across the country,
24,
but
Carolina 17.
they've been more. I don't know. They've been doing more unique stuff with their linebackers. Like they finally figured out we got our freak athlete from Penn State here, and Micah.
Michael Parsons, who I love.
Yeah. And like they're doing
love
creative stuff with him.
Bryan and Micah.
So I mean,
I'm fine.
I'm fine
It's
with
fine. That boy's good.
it's proven grounds this week for a couple of different fantasy outlooks. Like, is Hubbard the guy? Is he going?
If you fast forwarded through this part of the podcast, keep going. We got a couple more minutes. Just in case it stopped right there. You know?
Does Dallas
Let's talk
air it
about
out again?
Carolina.
Does
That's why
Zeke and running game
fast forward.
continue? Like, I don't know, man. I think this game from a fantasy perspective is going to be interesting.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
Because a lot of people are questioning Carolina, and which I understand why.
I've never
Are
been
they for
so
real, though?
uncertain.
So,
I've never been so uncertain. And you make me do certain things.
I didn't
With
make
certainty.
you do it. You said you would.
Certainly.
Of course.
Don't put too much pressure on yourself, man. It's just a week 4 matchup. It's okay.
Don't downplay it. He's been over there working his ass off, building this thing up, and then you're over there just saying,
Yeah, but you said this is the most unsure I've ever been in my life.
about a matchup.
Oh, well, you didn't specify.
That's what I was talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
But that's
Just
what you
don't
said.
listen.
But that's not what you said.
That is what
No.
like, I've never been certain a day in my life.
You and JT have the same watch.
That's my.
Do you
watch.
like it?
I was joking. I saw you hand it to him.
Well, then why
I
don't
just
you bring
didn't
that
know-
up right now? and
I didn't know he
interrupt
put
this
it on
podcast?
his wrist. He had it on the table. Now he's wearing
We're
it.
going steady.
Okay. So he's like, Letterman jacket's in my truck.
We were going to announce that at the end of the podcast. We bring it up.
He's
He's taking it
he's
off
making a
now?
watch
Oh,
off.
well, thanks a lot. Too much pressure. Now we're going to
Should've
go find
said
somebody
nothing.
else. I was going to take him to
He
dinner
checked the
and
wrong
everything.
box. Involved in there.
Speaking
Yes,
of
baby.
female
It
on the
was at least
side.
going
What does
maybe.
maybe mean? Does that mean we're talking but we're not dating?
But
I mean, that's why George Strait only gave you 2
What
options.
year of school are we in? 7th grade?
Uh,
Maybe means a lot in 7th grade. That means they like you. In
Well,
high
eighth
school, that means they're talking about you behind your back and just want to see
Can
how.
we stop talking about middle school dating?
You
please?
brought this up.
I just said about the watch, and then you said y'all were going
Yeah.
steady. You didn't have to air your dirty laundry out on
I
the
was
podcast.
talking about my erection. I wasn't talking about that. Carry on.
all right, what are we up to?
So-
We're to wait, wrap up again.
Speaking of Carolina, Chuba Hubbard was the largest
Heck,
free
In
agent
history.
acquisition
Oh,
in history.
how many go for?
$88.
$88. There were 3 more offers.
I almost got him.
No, you didn't. I put $8.
Part of the 88.
Right there.
I put $8.
If you look at it,
Can't go
by the
88
digits,
without
that's half. That's half.
If you mirror it
Yeah, that's half.
side by side.
Or if you turn it sideways, it's an inch.
That's it. It's infinity. It's infinity.
Or
That's
wait,
like my ERA.
Yeah.
It's all about you, isn't it?
I put in 47.
That's what some people say.
Rightmyer put in 54. Michael won at 88. I imagine that Michael put in 88 because I had $87 left fab wise.
You think that he looked exactly that amount? I mean, it's good strategy.
I mean, why else would you go 88 like on the dot? That's my question.
He screwed himself for the rest of the year. I love you, Michael.
It
I
depends.
love you.
Depends on what happens with McCaffrey.
yeah, me and
If
JT
he
both said that.
re-injures himself,
But
then
he can't
sure.
get any other big free agents, really.
I feel like
He's
he did.
handcuffed.
I feel like he did that thinking hamstring 6 weeks, like kind of what we said on the
Or
podcast
even if it's not
ourselves.
6 weeks, very
So it's
easy
our
to
fault.
re-injure a hamstring. He
Yeah.
could be done for the season.
It's your fault.
Why is it my fault?
She said McCaffrey was not come back until week 8.
You did say that yesterday. Bowl predictions last week. Let's see what it says. JT says CMC comes back week 8.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It's your fault. You spent
You said
$88.
And he took the week
Wait a minute.
8 to the 88.
Isn't that good for
Dude,
you? You're
Look
working. You
at
didn't
the
put in
number
for
23 connection right now.
You didn't put in
Oh
for
man,
Q.
Jim
Yeah.
Carey's here.
Yep.
But now you've got one less person to worry about when it comes to
I
waiver wire.
realistically don't care what any of y'all do as long as I win, but in reference to doing a podcast, I have to pretend that I do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bryan.
You're welcome.
Thank you for putting your differences aside.
That's very
And
nice.
being very shallow, but thinking about us during the podcast, we appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Shallow.
There were three other winnings. I guess winning offers. Emmanuel Sanders went for $6
Yep.
to Scorp. Ryan put in $1. Apparently that's an ongoing theme.
Me putting in $1 or me just putting in
The
low
price
bid?
is
Very
right.
low.
You know,
Well,
the
no,
price is right
it's-
every week.
It's
Your
players
last
that I
one.
wanted, but I'm not willing to spend a ton of money on some. Like, if I could get them for cheap, I'll get them, but I'm not willing to spend.
Zach Moss was the next one. Zach Moss went for 18 to J-Bro.
Who put in money for him?
Scorp put in 13. Ryan, again, the lowest offer, put in
If there was
6.
a washer and dryer up there that they all have to put in their monetary amount, he's going $1 every time.
We did place the $7
Price is
bid
right.
on Fairfield Golf Course.
I did. I tried to buy that bad boy. Like, no, $7 not enough. Now it's a graveyard, cemetery.
And he's about to invest in land there.
I do have a plot picked out.
What you going to do?
Be very
Oh, and actually
bury myself.
a lot.
You're not.
That's Ryan Reynolds.
That movie
This-
And I'm the
sucked.
one that's going to die first.
Spoiler
He's already got the
alert.
plot.
He's not
He's
dead.
really thinking ahead of the game.
Sounds great.
Just cremate.
Sucks.
Rashad Bateman did go to Ryan.
Yeah, I didn't put
He's
any
on-
money against him.
No, you didn't. 0 winning offer, and Rain City also put in a 0 offer, but you had a higher waiver priority. So,
I wouldn't have if
Congratulations.
I'd have gotten any of my little low ball offers.
congratulations, you got Rashad Bateman. How you feel?
I loved Rashad Bateman last year at Minnesota. They said he looks like Keenan Allen. I'm like,
You know
you
why?
got me.
You
He's
know
my
why he
favorite wide
loves him?
receiver.
Why does he love?
Ryan loves to bait men.
I get
Huh?
that.
Huh?
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 Yeah, I
Never
saw
been
that.
caught neither. That's an office quote. I wasn't indicting myself.
What's no? I didn't know to make of that. What we got next, Ryan?
For the record.
For the record, I'm innocent.
Dude, that whole part last week.
The whispering over the mic
Yes,
thing.
dude. That was funny. That was funny.
It was worth the run.
What we got next, Ryan?
Matchup 4.
Matchup 4? We're already there?
Week 4 matchup preview.
Oh, we
We're
got a
saying
lot of bold
already.
predictions
We've
to
been going
make.
for like 45 minutes.
That's why I gave you the
Feels like we
watch.
just started.
Feels like
What's
it.
our first matchup, Ryan?
First matchup is Bryan v. JT.
Ooh.
1v6.
Victim of the system versus the person
The
who is the
perpetrator.
system.
Let me go ahead and give you a bold prediction for this week.
Oh
Gummit,
my
Bryan.
gosh.
Bryan wins.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. what bold.
Hey,
I
JT,
feel
pull up
like-
Brian's bold prediction Word document that you created last week.
I never typed anything.
Hey, he
All
struggled to
you
get a title.
basically did was roundabout call me a dick.
That's it.
That's
That's
all you
all
did.
I did.
Went through all that shit to call me a dick.
Hey,
We
you
could
cussed
have
again.
Call me a dick. I can't help it. All right? I can't help it. My mother, I told her just don't listen to the podcast anymore. I'll give the clip notes first. I told her.
Got a lot of redacted
They asked me. I
lines.
went over there Sunday night. They asked me. They said, "Well, how'd your podcast go yesterday?" And I said, "Mom, it was good. Mama, don't listen to it. Listen, I'm cussing a lot this year.
Did you tell your dad not to preach because you're in trouble?
Huh?
What?
Talking on preach?
Yeah, Madonna.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's my girl.
Bold predictions. Let's hear it.
All right. I've got Brian Dash written down, so
I feel like I really truly feel like I'm heavily overprojected this week.
You have very high.
I put my
projections.
projection at 130.
So 10
So you
points.
still
10
think
points is a lot, man.
you still think you're gonna win?
You said
I think
130,
JT's underprojected. I think JT beats me this week, but I didn't want
we haven't
to
gotten
go
there
there
yet.
yet. But you know, you draw me.
You're backing me into a corner.
Hey, look who Brian's starting in his third receiver spot. Boom.
The
Cordell
running back.
Patterson.
Didn't have a
Running back.
choice. Did not have a choice
Why?
You ain't got no one else.
because Claypool wasn't out until today, and Jamar Chase is already
And he's
gone,
got
and
4
my
running
bench
backs.
is nothing but running back.
4 running backs to
Yep.
be exact.
And one of those.
I'm just trying to figure out
SOBs
how you don't
is
have
gonna
another
pan out.
option when you've got the starting running back on that same team.
I guess you could have flipped Chase to wide receiver.
No, Mike,
I can't because
Not-
he's already
not
gone.
now,
Have
yeah.
you thought about picking up Zach Pascal?
I saw the wink.
What
I'm
about
not. No, I'm good.
What about the gun?
What about KJ Osborne?
What about him?
Thought about picking him up?
No.
Pick you up.
What about KJ Hamler? He's
Put
available.
you right back down. Are you on my team again? Are you dropping on my team again?
No, I'm trying to get Bryan to
Looks like Jake
question.
just sent the second trade to go to personnel.
Cooper Cup for
A defense?
Adam Thielen.
What are you talking about?
We were
He
talking
said
about
Cooper
JT is on Jake's computer. On
Are you
Jake's
paying
lineup.
attention?
Right now?
No.
He said Cooper Cup.
What else do you have,
What
Bryan?
do
So
Cooper
Jamar
Cup and
Chase.
Adam Thielen have in common? Huh?
I was just going with the trade.
Hey man, how excited were you to see your dude from San Francisco actually get targeted last week? Forgot to bring that up earlier.
Ayuk?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's at 86. He was at 86% snap share last
Yeah.
week. It seems like they're
They're finally
Whatever-
figuring out he's the best weapon they have in the house.
Whatever
He's better than Trent Sherfield now?
I guess
Gee, always
whatever
has
was
been.
going on with them seems to be kind of water under the bridge.
I'm just
I hope
hoping
it
What's
was
the deal with Jacobs this week?
They said that he's more than likely going to play. He's questionable right now. He practiced on Thursday. Yeah, practiced on Thursday. Gruden says, we're running around the field on game day and see how he feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Gruden said.
Not
So
the same
you're just
Twitter.
going to follow that closely, and if he's out, though, Drake back in.
I might.
He sounds
Philip
like a
Morris.
horsey.
What time? Yeah, and that because that's a Monday night game.
But a Thursday
yeah.
practice is basically like a Wednesday practice, so it's early in the week.
Right.
So if he's practicing on Thursday,
He didn't have the game you were kind of hoping
You
for
do
last
slot it
week,
up.
did he?
Who?
slot it up a day.
I'm
Drake,
looking at, he had 7.2 last week.
Why are you
He's
so
the
close to
second
me?
worst run defense from
I'm just
Miami.
relaxing at this point.
Yeah, Drake's just not getting touches. It's Peyton Barber when Josh Jacobs is
What
out.
about Philip?
Yes. Did he get any carries?
Is it Phillip or Peyton?
I don't know, but I'm loving I can make you question it just by saying it.
Dude, I don't know.
I
I don't think he's
question-
that good, but in last week he has 113 yards or something.
Philip or Peyton?
One of them?
Lindsay or Barber?
Jordan Powell,
One of them?
Jordan Powell somewhere, like I told you. He was really good.
I still don't
Apparently
think
Jordan
he's very
Powell
good.
just made himself $11.
Yeah. All right, I'm taking. Look, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you right now.
now.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm taking Bryan. Taking Bryan. Taking
Why?
Bryan.
You ain't even told us why.
Because Bryan's got a better team than I do.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, bold prediction, JT. Bryan is better than me.
Big quarterback week between
I didn't
you.
say that.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Oh, well, you wrote down something that I didn't say last week. So.
Ah, you said it. Yeah, I'm out Julio. I'm out CMC.
I'm out.
I didn't want to start Jalen Waddle, but I got
Waddle.
to. But I got to. Last week, you talked about what Najee Harris, about how he was catching balls close to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle, 12 receptions.
Yep.
For 58 yards.
Waddle.
Dude, that's like 4.8 yards. a
Those are
catch.
quick bubble screens that don't go anywhere.
Just-
Seriously,
Phil
dude.
should have done that last week.
Brissett didn't look bad though.
No, I mean,
No,
he doesn't push the ball down the field, but it is
No.
short.
Well,
What is that?
the good news with a guy
Dawson's.
like getting the ball to Waddle is that
Waddle.
he can make an average play into
An above
exceptional
average
play.
He makes quarterback numbers look good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, he's got big play capability.
He's from Alabama?
Yes,
I don't know.
was he a
the
first
punt
round
returner.
wide receiver? Yeah, he probably went to Alabama.
that's
I didn't know he was first round wide
Yeah.
receiver.
Yeah, he was the first wide receiver taken this year.
Ba, 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 ba.
All right, I got Bryan.
All right, we know that.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Okay. I got Bryan.
Why are you taking Bryan?
His team's just better than JT's.
I literally have it written down. JT said Bryan's better than me. Verbatim quote.
And Ryan thinks the same.
Ryan agrees.
All right, so 2 for Bryan. Jake?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Bryan as well.
Oh wow.
His team's just better than
That's
JT's.
right. Bryan's better than
Yeah.
I
JT.
mean, like, I don't know what Jacobs is gonna do. I don't know what Miles Sanders is gonna do.
You don't know what Patterson's going to do.
You don't know what Ayuk's going to do.
I mean,
Do we know what
Barkley's
anybody's gonna do?
not going to have a good
Brian
game.
has less letdown potential. if
Right,
that kinda
agreed.
makes sense.
Bryan's team's just better.
All right, I'm just going to say, like, Jamar Chase can put up, like, 10, 11 points this week.
I was
I'll
saying,
go more direct, 10.7.
All right.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Ball prediction.
Bold prediction.
Bold
Write it
prediction.
down.
I was gonna
Jake's
ask-
got one right.
Jake and Bryan watched Thursday Night Football.
You
And
didn't write that down.
you're
I
wrong.
did, just didn't use it.
I didn't watch it. I had a game, so you won.
I didn't watch it because I don't care.
All right.
No,
Who
Next
you got?
matchup.
Who you
I
got?
already said I took you.
Why'd you? I don't mean
I'm serious. I'm Truly believe that.
Okay.
What did you say? You believe in love after love?
Who did you pick?
Love after
He
life.
picked me because he's
obviously
nice.
he doesn't care about weekly picks.
He can
We've
feel
seen
something.
his record.
Yeah, we
As
6
long
and
as he's in
9.
first in the
I
league,
picked
you
you
don't care.
last week.
Yeah,
And
how
you
that's
were
been.
wrong.
So
Come
3 and
on,
4.
boys.
3 and
That's
1
why
in
he's
favor
doing-
of Bryan.
He's picking you so you can lose.
I know. Who we got next?
Next, Broach, Michael.
Broach Michael, get your calculators ready.
I thought we were
Did we write it down after we did it?
It's like 123.
Yeah.
123?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna roll with that.
So we've got a live projection sitting somewhere around 133 to 123.
That's a
Broach
good
v. Michael in favor of Broach.
Does
Just-
Mike
you
Williams
sound like Orson again.
continue the hot streak?
Yeah.
Does Robert Woods ever break out?
Both happen this week.
Find out this week on
Both
Sunday
happen this
Football.
week. Robert Woods, big game. Mike Williams, small game.
Bold prediction. Can you give us a little bit more direct? Like Robert Woods
Birch,
clears.
big frame.
All right, let's
Mike
pick a
Smith,
number
small.
that.
Give me an over-under.
So if we
Woods.
went 12, you're saying Mike
Big
Williams
game.
under 12, Robert Woods over 12.
Yeah, okay.
All right, cool.
Over under 12, I'll take the over on Woods, the under on Williams.
Nice.
Small game.
I don't think Williams has a big week.
Who they got?
Vegas.
He's gonna have a big game. He's
He's
on
got a
prime
huge
time.
game.
He does
40
good prime
points.
time.
40?
67.
Holy crap! 88. Yep.
All right, so you really going that?
No,
you're not
no,
going.
no, no,
you're
no.
not going that.
Do you
route.
want to?
I mean, I won't be surprised if
let's
puts
all
up another
get everyone's pick. Robert Woods over under 12 this week. Fantasy
Over.
points.
Easy
All
over.
right, Mike Williams.
Oh wait, no, you said Robert Woods.
Yes.
Under.
Under.
Williams over.
So you're going opposite of Trogdon.
Mm-hmm.
So you completely disagree with everything he just
Bryan
said.
My thought
is
process
better
is better
than
than
JT.
His fantasy team is too. It's better.
Say that about everybody in the league right now. That's why he's in first place.
Nah, it'll fall apart.
Who do you got, Ryan? Over or
Ryan,
under
Hold
12?
on a second. I had to write Bryan opposite of above. JT is
I've
stupid.
never known love.
Mike Will, over 12?
Yeah.
And Robert Woods. So you break out.
Under 12.
So you're opposite of
Have you drank any of that coffee since you said it there?
empty.
Okay. I've never saw you take
I'm
a
going to
sip.
say both go over 12.
Okay.
Dadgummit, it's a lot to write, guys.
You can probably
Ryan,
do
you
that
got
a more
one
efficient
job,
way.
dude.
You write
Yeah.
tiny.
Everybody else doing their job.
Cross my legs.
JT's controlling the mic and the mouse.
I'm doing it all, man.
Brian's got bold predictions.
Did I
Full
have to
pants.
write?
Thank you.
Not saying that.
Dog's in here. I'm taking care of her.
All right, when you look at these two teams, and, well, when it comes down to it, who you taking in this matchup?
You know, the one that's a little disappointing is, Montgomery for
That entire
But he was like that last year, and then Rightmyer just
I know
goes into fifth gear with it.
huge. Well, I shouldn't say huge. Really good week one, and then it's been a steady decline.
It'll come back.
And
up.
that week one was against the Rams.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what-
does Dalton start this week over Fields?
If
I
he's
need-
healthy.
I need to
That's
know
what they
this.
said.
But
This is important.
dude, I mean,
We'll
do you
discuss this.
I almost like starting Zach Moss more against Houston than I do Montgomery over. Zach Moss outscores Montgomery this week. Bold prediction.
Dadgummit, Jake.
Dude, I got a rebound from
There's
last
a
week.
lot on this matchup we got to
Yeah.
talk about next week.
Yeah. Once you start this cycle, it's
When the train
All I
gets
said
rolling.
was the man was going to get 2 touchdowns again in week 2 in here. We know
man has no name. Well, yeah, I know, sweetie.
man has no ribs.
He ain't got no daddy.
That's Jimmy Butler.
I'm gonna take.
I'm going Broach.
Going Broach. Give me Broach as well. I think Robert Tanyan is, or Tanyan.
That's the name I keep looking at.
6.5. Come
Yeah,
on now.
I know.
I'm gonna take Michael.
You would.
I would.
I'm going
I did.
Broach.
That seems like an incredibly low projection.
Yeah.
5?
6.5
Oh, I think I'm talking about for Michael's
for
team.
6.
For
Yeah,
Tanyan,
6.5 for Tanyan. That just seems incredibly low.
It is.
Is Devin Bush playing for
I
Pittsburgh?
don't think so.
The linebacker got hurt, so I think he covers tight ends quite a bit.
Is he right about him often?
No,
I was
he's not
gonna-
a
Yeah,
journalist.
I got it.
He's not a journalist.
Oh, okay.
Devin
I think
Bush.
he was a sports.
Steelers notes. Devin Bush can make a lot more plays.
All right. Thanks, Devin. Back to you,
Yeah,
Bob.
so, he might play.
All right. What about the TJ Watt. Is he playing?
Bold prediction.
Yes. He practiced last week and didn't play, so I'm hoping he's playing this week.
I ain't gonna play this week. Who'd you pick in the Broach final?
Pick Broach.
TJ Watt. I'm gonna make a bold prediction. I'm gonna say he plays.
I'm not writing down your bold predictions that you just read off the phone. Not doing it.
I didn't read nothing.
He can't read.
I can't read.
You can't make fun of people that can't do that.
No,
I make fun of people for everything.
I don't know.
What's our third matchup?
Third matchup's Andrew and Jordan.
Andrew v. Jordan. So this is the battle of Building Sheds, Washing Homes, and $10.99 an hour. $10.99 an hour.
Now wait a minute.
$10.99 an hour for.
Wait a minute. Say it backwards. Say Jordan first, and then Andrew.
All right, this matchup. We've got Jordan of $10.99 an hour for Building Sheds and Washing Homes.
If you play the Lowe's theme song or the Home Depot theme song before this matchup, works out perfect.
You might be on something there.
It's like a job interview. That's what it is. That's why he named his team.
You think
that.
it is?
Because that's what the blank stands for. You get $10.99 an hour for Building Sheds and Washing Homes. Well done, Jordan.
You're right. Well, I might be right.
I mean, he time-stamped us last week.
He did.
I thought, when I saw that, I said, why is the title of Maroon 5's first album? Because seriously, yeah. It's 122.03. It's an acoustic.
I thought something was going to happen in January. Or something did happen in January of 2003.
I know. Then I started looking up dates.
What happened?
So 9/11/01. That's not it. That's the only one I remember from the early 2000s.
I'm going to separate myself from this.
Let's just jump into a matchup.
I make fun of somebody that can't read, and he gets all upset, but he brings up 9/11. Just throwing that out there.
It was a date that everybody remembers.
But the
Nobody
people who
remembers
can't read
that date.
don't know about it.
That's fair.
That's fair.
So about this matchup.
Yeah, about this matchup. Ransden is going with Chubb and Hunt against Minnesota. I think that works out for him. I think he's got 25 combined right there. I think they definitely hit.
I can't figure out Minnesota's defense.
Neither can Mike Zimmer because they don't play a ton of it.
They should be a lot better than they are.
They should be.
A lot better than they are.
Let's see.
They've lost a couple of defensive linemen off that stud
Yeah, but
defensive
they
line.
shouldn't
and
fall
then-
off like that.
Nah.
I'm trying to look at their defense.
How's Waller going to do against the Chargers?
I don't know. I mean, last week I thought Derwin James was going to follow Kelsey around the whole time. For the most part, they had Mike Davis, their number one corner, on him. And Derwin was lining up against Tyreek a lot. So one of those two are going to be covering him, and both of them are 6'3", 6'2".
Well,
so
the benefit of that is you don't have a
there's not a wide
you don't have a
receiver
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, there's not a wide receiver they have to take away. I mean, Hunter Renfro's a stud, but other than that,
Personal preference.
It's debatable.
I like him.
Mm.
Waller has seen, obviously he wasn't going to see 19 targets each week like he did week one.
Right.
But he's had 7 targets past 2 weeks, both for 5 receptions. I would imagine you got to expect him to be coming with.
I thought he'd have more touchdowns. I thought he'd have at least 3 by now. After the week one.
I mean, Philip Barber looked pretty good last week.
Is it Philip or Peyton?
It's still Peyton.
Okay. Y'all keep saying that, dude. I'm never going to learn his name.
Brady.
We never thought about the same
Brady,
Philip
does
Barber.
Brady just destroy it this week? I mean, that's going to be the game everybody's talking about.
I think there's one of two ways this goes. Either Brady
He
puts
does very
up,
well or he does very bad.
No, either Brady puts up he's going to break the record in the first quarter.
JT
Right.
bold prediction. Brady
For
could
those
or
that don't
bad.
know what the record is,
Passing yards
Yeah,
career.
For career, yeah. Brian.
did you actually know that, or
I
just know
just
that
knew
there was a record? I
I
wasn't trying to call you out. I
I
was
think he's
just
68 yards
I was
short.
trying to
Yeah,
put
60,
context
so he'll
to it.
do that in the first quarter. I could see.
Clearly no.
I could see them. I could see them Brady breaking the record and then
Taking him out
And then benching.
for the rest of the game.
no.
Oh my God, that
But I
would be
could see
great.
them going kind of run heavy against because this is a chess match. Like you got to think like Belichick is like that's his whole goal is to stop
Do
Brady.
you think?
So I think they're going to sell out everything they have to stop
You
Brady.
sound like all right. So there's the guy that does the afternoon radio show. It's local. It's 93.7 plug. Josh Graham.
Yeah, that sounds.
He swears New England is going to win this week. He's the only one I've heard say it, but until you.
Well,
I don't think they're
Jeff
going to win, but I think they're going to sell out
Yeah,
everything
of
they
course.
have to keep this from being like the whole Brady.
New England's going to run the ball a ton because they're
They're
going to do everything they can to keep Brady off.
Has
Right.
Belichick game planned for Tom Brady in this matchup more than any player he's ever matched up against, do you think?
Yes, he has to.
I
This
don't
is
know.
a
I don't know.
legacy
Wait a
question.
minute. That's just what Belichick is. Belichick. I think his ego prevents him from overdoing it. I think.
No, I'm just saying,
Is Brady good enough to beat him at that chess match?
Right, that's
I think Belichick.
Yeah,
I think he
because
is,
because
but-
Belichick can only put the game plan out there. Execution's on other people. Brady controls his
Yeah,
destiny.
usually execute other people. Good call.
But I can see.
But I think
Brady
Belichick, like the
They're not
20,
happy about that.
the 20 years he's been coaching, I think Belichick's been watching the offensive practice, be like, this is how I would stop this guy. Nobody ever can do it, but this is how I would stop him. So I think he's been game planning against Brady for 20 years. And now he finally gets to play him. We might see, like, hey, maybe he does have that magic bullet that knows how to stop him.
This is
That's
the legacy
legitimate.
Darth
question.
Vader's coming back to the Death Star to destroy it.
Ooh, dude,
Destroy
I
the
love
house
it.
that he built.
I love
Man.
there is a lot of narratives in this game. And
Absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to it. It's also supposed to be raining.
What about Maximus? That's weather on the 8th.
Jake Traffic.
It's gonna be crowded.
All right.
It's going to rain.
Ryan, how's that festival going up there?
A lot of people.
All right. Well, that's it for New England.
Back to you, Bob.
Vader's going back to destroy the Death Star. Now we feel it.
It's going to rain.
It's also supposed to be raining. You see
Meteor
loud
shower.
clicks on the
Everything
click.
cool you just did.
What on the screen? You got weather.com up.
No, there's a little cloud with rain showers.
Good for you.
All right.
Does
It's
Hop
also,
good to goes?
All right.
Injuries not affected or
He's-
anything like that?
he's not questionable or anything like that. He
JT
practiced on
prediction.
Thursday.
Will rain.
Hey, he
Juju's playing this week.
New
Joe.
England.
Juju's playing this week. Claypool's not.
Yeah, does that help Juju
And
anymore?
Johnson's
But
playing.
Johnson's playing.
Does that help Juju anymore?
A
Joe,
little bit.
Joe.
I think it helps Juju more with
I think
Deontay
Johnson
Johnson
out.
being out
Yep.
than Claypool.
Ooh.
Okay, and
I
then
disagree.
let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Well, I
Derrick
think if
Henry.
Juju doesn't go down,
He's a big
don't feel
elephant.
at all. So they are both competing for those underneath routes. And if Claypool's not there, then Juju might go down.
I see a big game for
Juju.
Juju this week.
Big game. So
Big
Juju. Go.
Good Juju this week.
Good Juju.
Big game for Juju. Derrick Henry.
All right, Derrick Henry. Tell us what's going to happen.
30
in this
carries?
Tennessee
That's what
game.
I'm asking. That's why I don't know.
Could the Jets stop him? In
No, 31 carries, 205 yards, 3 touchdowns.
What did McCaffrey do against the Jets?
How many touchdowns?
3.
Does he outscore both of Andrew's running backs? Which are
Yes.
Chubb and Hunt?
What did McCaffrey do against the Jets?
What did McCaffrey do? He had, I can tell you off the top of my head, he had 189 combined yards rushing and receiving, did not score.
There had to be more receiving than rushing, right?
It was 98 receiving, 89 rushing.
He had 89 yards rushing.
Or 87, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe one more yard.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, he was almost hit 100 both ways.
All right, so give me a. If you're
fire.
comfortable, how many points Henry put up this week?
Whatever.
He just
I
said 31
that's
carries,
the
205
stat
yards, 3 touchdowns.
God dang, son.
They're
the worst
run
defense in the league, and he's the best running back as far as getting that many carries and putting a ton of yards up.
Man, all right.
I think they should let the Jets play with 15 players on defense this week, and I still think he goes over 100.
Dude, I mean, what are they going to do? Seriously,
And I can't
Ryan
write that down
Tannehill's
because
not
they're not
that
gonna let him do
quarterback
it.
that's just going to throw it around the yard, especially without his
Especially
two
without his
best
top
receivers.
200 receivers. Yeah.
So they're going to
You
get
want to win
Henry.
that football game? Tennessee comes out throwing the damn ball. Henry
Fine.
doesn't get anything.
They're going to get
They'll
up. and
never
just
see it
go
coming.
feed
All right, Brian, bold prediction.
No,
Tennessee
I'm
doesn't
saying
run
that's what
at
you
all.
do. That's what you should do.
All right, so what does Derrick Henry finish with?
A W. And that's really what matters.
Yes.
Victory.
At the end of the day,
Mhm.
that doesn't start with a W.
I know. A W is what matters.
The 3 quote.
Yes. Starts with a W. To win, Coach O'Ryan. It's Will. Aberman.
Yeah, he's got a huge game because
Good
that's their
league.
offense.
All
this
right,
week.
and we all agree the Chubb hunt
I think
is going.
is-
That's
it
a big
continues.
week. That's a big week.
Dude,
The Chubb hunt continues.
I think that's
Yeah.
Ranzel's got a lot right.
All
now.
right, now let me
Cleveland.
ask you this.
Look at that. He's got 3 Cleveland players.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
to
every
tie
week.
the two together. Does Chubb and Hunt combined with what you're saying? Does Chubb and Hunt combined outscore Henry?
No.
I asked him a while ago, and he said no.
Really?
I said 201 rushing yards, and three touchdowns.
31 carries, 205 yards, 3 touchdowns
All
for
right.
Derrick Henry. So you want to take 4 yards away from
You
him
went
already?
big this week, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
It's a big Trogdon week.
I mean, he's
put
already
yourself out there, Bubba.
The biggest projection so far this week is JT saying Bryan's better than me.
That's pretty much cut and dry, brother. You ain't getting an argument from me.
Verbatim quote.
That was not verbatim.
Hey, who was wearing whose watch?
Oh, but who's wearing the pants? Both of them.
All right, neither. How do you think the watch thing happened? Made me laugh. All right, who wins this week? We spent a lot of time on this.
I'm taking. Well, I guess I gotta take Jordan.
Yeah, you kind of have to. Derrick Henry's going to outscore the entire
Derrick
league.
Henry's
combined.
89 points. I mean, well,
Bonus kicks in on what were the bonus for running backs?
175,
I think.
200.
And you say he's going to put up how many yards?
205.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I got it.
You have no choice.
I will
You
say
have no
this:
choice.
if Derrick Henry does get 31 carries for 205 yards, 3 touchdowns, he might separate himself from Tyson Williams. Come
Maybe.
Come out and say
Let's
it.
see what Tyson
We
Williams
gotta
does.
wait and see.
I don't know why, but when you said maybe right there, it scared me.
Maybe.
That's what he's-
Who you got?
All right, Brian.
Andrew.
So you're saying that Derrick Henry doesn't have
I mean,
68.
Henry could have a big game.
Brian doesn't think Derrick Henry's good.
He's taking the Tyson.
I went like DraftKings wise, I went big with Marquise Brown this week.
I went big with Derrick Henry this week.
Did you?
I'm out of the League of Champions now. I lost.
Are you really?
this week. Yeah.
We don't talk about other leagues.
Well,
All right.
reference to this.
Jake, who you get?
I'm going to be taking Jordan.
That's fair.
Just
preach
because
on
Derrick
that.
Henry might outscore 4 of his players.
Very true.
According to JT's.
According to JT's predictions, that might
I'm
be
not
a
gonna
full,
hit you.
full team worth.
Wow. The dog's there. I'm not going to do it.
It's so good.
So you're going to take Jordan, 3 Jordan, 1 Andrew? All right.
Time stat me. Jordan, not y'all.
Yeah. What was that? Did you pick? You didn't pick. You picked Jordan.
Yeah.
But you're picking Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can tell.
You got it. This guy over here. Okay.
It's like, dude, I can't. Oh, I
Because you
know.
didn't let me pick, but we
Oh,
already
okay.
Yeah, I picked for him. He picks Jordan. Let's see. What's our next
Next one
matchup?
is
we on 3?
a Jake Scorp. We're on 4.
4? I can't keep up.
Catch up. I'm in gear 3.
Oh yeah, there we go. Turd Sandwiches in 3rd place, 2-1 versus Scorp, the Scorpion King. 1 and 2 in 8th place. The original projection was 138 to 136. Jake had a couple players go on Thursday night. Marvin
start
Jones
the right
Jr.
ones.
and Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon wasn't a bad start at 13.2.
Yeah, it's
But
good.
the 2 on the bench outscored both of them.
Let me look. Yeah, but barely. I mean, yeah, if you lose by 3.1 points, then yeah, I'd be pissed.
The one that
But
I
you
was-
couldn't put one of
uh,
them in the running back spot.
The one that I was going to start was Tyler Boyd. I was back and forth. Sometimes when I need help with fantasy advice, I reach out to
I need an
Cousin Tyler.
adult.
And he initially said, you got to start Boyd. And then I made the argument that Marvin Jones had a very good start to the year. I thought he was clearly the number 1 target. I thought Joe Mixon was going to have a big night, so I thought they might be playing from behind. But it was actually the opposite start. Jacksonville got out to the big lead, and Shark got hurt. Thought that maybe it would lead to more Jones targets, and it didn't.
Did you know that T. Higgins was out
Yes.
when you asked that question? Okay, that's what I was wondering.
That's what made it more of a conversation for me.
Yeah.
If a T. Higgins had been playing, I would have never contemplated it, and I would have started Marvin Jones for sure.
Yeah. I was just wondering if the T. Higgins being out even factored into the conversation for
I
Tyler.
wasn't
getting more
considering
targets.
Chenault yet because he hadn't really had any air yards. Like everything he's gotten has been underneath, and it's been 5 receptions for like 35 yards. I don't know. He hadn't been very good. But Boyd has been very consistent for Joe Burrow. He has been a person that he kind of looks to across the middle, catches a lot.
Boyd's not flashy, but he catches
No,
basically everything you throw.
I think the big play guy is Chase, and then Boyd's the guy underneath who's like, if I check it down, that's what I'm going to.
Who will be next
Who will be?
after Chase and Boyd?
T. Higgins?
Okay.
but he didn't play.
Who didn't? I'm not doing it again.
T.
Go ahead.
Higgins?
I'm done.
You know who did play?
Come on.
I
CJ
wanna burn it.
Uzama.
CJ Uzomah had a good game, man.
Best
Two
game of his
touchdowns,
career.
91 yards. That's nice.
Never gonna be as good as TJ. Who's your mama?
You're right.
You're welcome.
You know what? Or TJ Muhammad.
You're welcome.
That guy, yes.
He drafted him every year, and I couldn't figure out
Never-
why.
Never does
And
that.
then in the last year, he said,
Hey,
Give
I
me the
get
guy
guys
from
I like to
Cincinnati.
keep drafting, and I never have to
Oh,
learn
God.
actually how to pronounce it.
Mason Crosby, you got down though.
Now,
You
give
knew that
me
was
Mason
it.
Crosby.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
kicker's just
I'm
gonna-
drafted. Remember he said with conviction, give me TJ Muhammad.
Yeah.
Who is TJ Muhammad?
He's got the mat over there.
I'm taking Hujmanzada. Looking at Scorp's team, he gains 3 of his starters back from last week. He gains Deontay Johnson, he gains Dalvin Cook, and Darrell Henderson Jr. Looks like Cook, they said, is definitely leaning to play. Darrell Henderson Jr.
Definitely
Last-
leaning.
Definitely leaning, yeah. Almost.
I
almost
looked
got
at him in
that
the
time.
locker room. He was doing this.
Oh, he's definitely leaning.
He's
And Sean McVay anticipates Darrell Henderson
100%
playing.
questionable.
against a good Cleveland team though that has done pretty well defensively.
Joe Dalvin? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought we were talking about Henderson.
Henderson.
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
but I
yeah,
will
yeah,
say,
yeah,
I ain't got a lot of
Michelle looked
confidence in
good
Henderson.
last week for the Rams.
What's up?
Sonny Michel? Yeah, Sonny Michel.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't off the charts, but I mean, he's very good.
He's just not gonna offer much like in terms of like receiving.
Yeah, I say
No former New England running back is used to carrying the ball a lot. Because there's 5 of them that do it a game.
I don't know who was Corey Dillon. He gave him the ball a lot.
Yeah, but that's you talking about like
That's like
early
15 that's like 15
Brady.
years ago.
You're
Yeah.
talking like early Brady.
Yeah.
Before they trust him just to.
Who they get? They gave the ball to
Big
somebody a lot. What was
Ben Jarvis Green Ellis.
The law firm.
No,
He did have a decent.
Stephen
little run.
Ridley. You remember him?
Stephen Ridley, yeah.
He was getting like 20-some carries a game. And then the next season,
He had that all.
they almost
We
basically
should do a separate podcast where we just start saying names and talk about them.
Well, I won't say him right.
It's
Thomas Jefferson.
I
Oh,
remember him.
Man, you remember him?
what a president that man was.
I mean, he
Really
without,
like
without
his
Hamilton
workers.
with his back, and he would have lost.
Jefferson.
Burr,
All right, who are you taking right here, Ryan?
Jefferson. Give me Scorp.
Taking Scorp.
I think it's the first time I picked him all year.
It's going to be raining in 3 of those games.
Dadgummit, JT says it's going to be raining in 4 places.
Oh, man.
I think it's going to be interesting because Jake, you are done at 4.
Because, see,
the 4
when it comes down, the
o'clock
field gets
games.
wet.
That is true.
Yes.
So it's going to come down. If it's close, it's going to come down to Mike Evans. There's prop bets to
Mike
who
Evans.
gets the
The
record-breaking, not like the record-breaking catch.
Who would you give it to? Considering the guy you will give it to
Well,
can't be there.
That was the I guess smallest odds or best odds.
Yeah,
I don't
best
know how
odds.
you do it.
Are they going to do the same
Best
thing
odds
they
is
did
Gronk.
when Drew Brees broke the record on like Sunday Night Football? I think,
Stop
and
the
they
whole
stopped
game.
the game.
Yeah, they're
the whole
going
thing. Okay.
They're going. They did it for Peyton when he broke
We don't care.
His
whatever.
neck.
Not soon enough.
So Mike
You watched
Evans,
him on that Monday night.
I haven't. No.
I was expecting you to just break out into break your neck lyrics, but it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. I don't know him.
So you
To
think
be
he's-
honest
He
with
sings,
you.
he raps too
You
fast.
think it's Mike Evans?
I think Mike Evans
I
is
think it's
good.
Chris Godwin. I think Godwin has a big week this
Is
week.
Adam Humphries playing?
That's where your money is.
That's where
Picking
you-
somebody
that's-
like
yeah.
that.
Cameron Brake
Yeah.
Brady might be a decent.
What if Wes Welker signs a 1-day contract tomorrow?
with the Patriots.
Suits up.
Then he won't win a Super Bowl this year.
That's true. That's crazy. That's
But
a
hey,
crazy stat.
That is, I did not know
That's a
that.
crazy stat.
Was
Wes Welker never won a Super Bowl.
yeah, he bounced between the
I know,
Broncos
but when
and
you
Patriots at the wrong
when
time.
I first saw
Two
that, I
of the
said,
greatest to ever
"Oh, what?
play quarterback.
Yeah."
4 Super Bowls?
During that time period,
Brady's got 7, and
He
Manning's
won-
got 2. That's 9.
And then he was
but like
During Welker's career,
He was the wide receiver coach for Kansas City last year.
Welker was.
Yeah.
And they said, looks like he's probably going to get his first Super Bowl ring, and then they lose.
And they
You know what
fired
else
him.
is crazy?
Badly.
LaShawn McCoy never won a Super Bowl until the last 2 years, and he won back-to-back. Didn't have a carry in either game.
That's true.
Mm.
Man, these stories write themselves.
Andrew picked a terrible time to give me that stat, too, because it's like 3 in the morning, and now I can't sleep when you tell me something like that.
What, the Wes Welker stat?
That's what I told you yesterday, after like 5:30, me and him talking. That was part of the reason why I stayed up so late.
I get it.
You give me something like that,
Sits on you, man.
It
Have I
does.
been remembering everything wrong?
Yeah.
What else have I misremembered? How deep does this go?
That Sinbad played a genie in a movie.
God.
This guy.
This guy. Yes.
He did.
No, he
No, he
didn't.
did
It's
not.
always
He did.
Shaq, man.
He played
And
the
you
Cherokee.
know
There
this.
was Kazam. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he also did.
What? What was it called?
He played
I can't
Cherokee
remember.
Kid. That was a
Didn't
Western.
exist.
It did.
He
It
was also
did.
in First Kid. He was a Secret Service agent.
Yes, he was.
That's an awesome movie.
All right, we're
I think
taking
it's on Disney
Scorp.
Plus.
We're taking.
Who else is taking Scorp besides me?
I
JT.
did.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't say, did I? I'll take.
No, you didn't.
I'll take Scorp.
You said I'm taking Jordan because of Derrick Henry. That's last.
Yeah, okay, I'll take Scorp. All right, Brian.
On Jake's side, I'm seeing too much of an opportunity for high scoring games. I'm gonna take Jake this week.
Damn it, Brian. Every time you pick someone, they lose.
6 times that.
Check the
A
tape.
couple of those are me, but
I'm
Oh,
going
no,
to
he's
Scorp.
actually won 5 times out of 15.
did you give me one?
No. If everybody that you picked lost, you would be 0-15.
I'm going to take Scorp.
All right, who'd you pick on this one? You picked Jake.
He
I
picked
picked
Jake.
and you picked
Jake's
Scorp.
taking
Okay,
Scorp.
gotcha.
But my bold prediction, because I got to make one here, Jonathan Taylor gets in the end zone.
That is bold.
That was awesome.
Bold
It's
as
like what
you're
you did to Chris Paul.
I did do that.
Jacoby Myers scores 2 touchdowns. That's bold.
Jake's bold predictions that his second round draft pick scores a touchdown. I'm joking.
I was about to say, let's remind you of your first rounder
Big thing to
last
do.
year.
That's funny.
Jake's first 3 draft picks, or first 4 draft picks, were very similar from this year to last year.
Yeah, they were.
He had Zeke. He had
That's it.
Jonathan Taylor. Had A.J. Brown. The only one he added this
Joe
year was Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon.
I was like, we're running it back, squad. It wasn't a good decision.
What'd you
What'd you finish
year?
last year?
Not good.
Let's run it
Why
back.
we- why we
squad.
bring it
It's
up?
also the same guys. If you go back and listen, he said he never drafted Zeke again, and then he goes up there and he
He said, I
drafts
can't,
Zeke with his first pick.
Zeke, I can't quit you.
so far.
But in Jake's defense, though, he drafted him like 2, 3, 1 the past few years,
Yeah.
and this year was like 8. So it's like,
Yeah.
man, well, it's like me drafting Paul Pierce in fantasy basketball. I couldn't
side
stand
with
it.
your boyfriend.
Jealous much?
No.
All right, what time is it?
Jealous a little.
Which one are we at? Is it that time of the week?
We're at the Mott Dub.
All right, for our week 4 matchup of the week, we have Ryan of the Fantasy Phenoms and Steve Rightmyer of DraftKings is Fun.
DraftKings is fun.
And you know what we do for matchup
On
of
the
the week?
whole.
Preparation H feels
We
good.
pick who we're going to take right away.
No.
Quit making fun. We do matchup
Do me
breakdown position by
Position by position.
Price is right.
All right, Joe Burrow versus Kyler Murray. Joe Burrow's already finished with 26. The projection for Kyler Murray is 26.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is tight.
So, over under 26.3 for Kyler Murray.
I'm going to take the under.
Under.
Over.
Yeah!
I'll take Burrow in this as well.
Oh,
So I'm taking the under. Rams look good.
Rams do look
Rams
good.
look good.
Indeed.
Kyler Murray-
Burrow did not look good, and then they came out for that second half.
And then he
Then
did
Burrow
look
looked
good.
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 Y'all got to remember, man.
That's
6
what the
points
coach
for
said.
passing
You'll look
touchdowns.
good.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That
For sure.
changes everything.
And in that Thursday night game, Burrow ran one in.
So
Mixon got stopped at the 1. I was like, dadgummit, give it to him again. And then Burrow ran a sneak, got in, called it a touchdown, went to commercial. I was like, dadgummit, he's
Then
got
what
6 points.
happened?
They rolled him down, and then they gave it back to Mixon, so they took 6 points off the board and said, all right, good.
And
Burrow's
then
good.
what happened?
And they think he threw touchdowns to TJ, CJ,
Yes,
Muhammad,
I don't-
Uzama.
And then what happened?
And then Burrow ended with 26.32 points at the end of the game.
hurt me a little bit.
And then what happened?
Brian started getting on Ryan's nerves.
Don't forget,
Just now.
Murray's had
28
years.
28 years, and I finally did it.
Other than last week of the 18 with no passing touchdowns in that one, he's had 41-37. So
Talking about Murray?
yes,
Yeah, he's due
So
for a good game.
Well, I'm just saying, like
But against the Rams?
with
I don't know.
a running quarterback on the edge, and if he has 2 passing touchdowns added to what he done last week, clears to 26.
Yeah. I mean, his rushing floor
Hop
gives him a
looked
chance
bad
to-
last week. I think Hop bounces back this week.
All right, Jake, Hop looked good this week.
Hop will be better than last week. Now, I feel very good on that prediction. I better hit that one.
What if he gets hurt on the first play?
Let's not get through whoever has Hop.
As
That's
be
not-
Jordan.
Jordan.
But he doesn't need him because Derrick Henry's getting 700
Yeah,
points
that's
this
also
week.
He's making $11 an hour.
$10.99.
But who's counting?
There's a
Government.
The receiver matchup's
that's all
pretty
I'm saying.
interesting. So on Ryan's side, Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel versus Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, and Tyler Lockett.
With a Q beside his name.
Tyler Lockett. We'll click on the Q. What's the Q mean?
Questionable. That's what you told us last week.
Oh yeah, it does mean questionable. He practiced Friday and is expected to play on Sunday.
So he will.
Yeah, he told us
in detail
and
about it.
questionable. What's the Q stand for? Q means questionable.
Q. Q
Diggs
is for
Diggs is due
questionable.
for a Diggs game.
Diggs is due for a Diggs game. It's going to be raining.
All right. Diggs due for Diggs game.
He hadn't had like a big game yet.
No, he
His
hasn't.
best
He's
game
good.
so far. Now I keep seeing this forecast. His best game so far.
Fantasy
11,
forecast.
14. He had 4 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown. He has not eclipsed 69 yards yet.
Diggity.
He also
Big
hasn't
deal.
had less than 60 yards. So
His bird.
yardage production is pretty consistent.
So Bryan, over under 16.
Over. That
Ryan,
would be a Diggs game.
Over.
Trogdon.
Tyreek Hill gets going. Yeah.
Whoa.
What does that got to do with Stephon Diggs
I'm
going over
picking
under 16?
Ryan.
Steven
What?
Diggs.
Stephon Diggs over 16. Give it to me.
All right, so we've got everybody basically saying Diggs due for Diggs game in rain.
Yeah, we did.
But I just wrote Brian's name beside it.
Thanks, Ryan.
My name is
Just
Bob.
under 16.
Diggs due for Diggs game.
Diggs due for
I'm
Diggs.
going under.
Diggs due for
Jake
Diggs
said Diggs not due for Diggs game in
game. To
rain.
define a Diggs game,
That's 16.
60 plus.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's fair. Diggs game.
Diggs due for Dig game. Dig Dug.
In
Diglet.
this matchup, though, I like Ryan's receivers because, again, I think Tyreek Hill gets going this week.
Because of the wonderful things he does?
Terry McLaurin and Taylor Heineke. Heineke.
Headley.
They're playing Atlanta in a dome, so it's not going to be raining. And
Could be.
Deebo
That's a
Samuel,
big problem.
Kittle's questionable. So
Kittle hasn't practiced.
yeah, I know. So
Kittle calf hurt.
Kittle Cafford. So
Kittle
Deebo could have a big week.
Kittle Court calf.
I like Ryan's receivers.
Thank you, bud.
I like Rightmyer's too, though.
All right, so after you dive deep into Carolina's defense, how's
Dive
CeeDee
deep.
Lamb do this week?
Jake, after you dive deep.
Under. I'm going under
Did I
on
say
the
that?
15. I'm really bashing Rightmyer's team right now because I've gone under on both of his
I'm bashing
wide
'cause I won a
receiver
lot of them.
predictions.
So
We got a lot of dead air going on right now.
I said CD under the 15.
Oh, okay.
City under 15. Lockett is projected for only 12, which is kind of
What's
surprising.
Lockett's
Which
injury?
is one play for him.
Yeah, exactly. It's a hip.
Hip injury. Everybody's hurting a hip.
Hip hurting season.
Hip hop anonymous.
Hip hop anonymous indeed.
He didn't practice Thursday.
He
did
practiced
Friday.
yesterday, yeah.
should play.
All right, what receiver group y'all taking here?
Rightmyer.
Ryan.
You just went under on. So does Lockett just have that good of a game?
His is the lowest one.
I
It's
know.
just
It's
crazy.
crazy.
Under on Diggs and under on
Yeah.
Lamb.
But I said, well, still, if they both get 14.
That could be 15 and 14
Yeah.
points.
And then if he goes,
I mean,
if he goes
in all
for
fairness.
20, all of a sudden, like,
Thanks,
and
Chuck.
Tyreek hasn't had a very great outing.
You don't have to
What we're
bring
saying
up
is
that
it's
stuff.
doable.
Maybe, San Fran gives the ball more to other people. I don't know. I don't know what San Fran's doing.
Neither do they.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just felt like I'm picking on Rightmyer a lot right now, so I'm taking him just
That's-
because I feel bad.
Just trying to make up a piece.
Yeah.
I
You
got
got to feel bad for him. He's projected to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
They haven't got to the tight end position yet, though.
No, he
That is very true. It's not going to
So-
score. I'm going to take my receivers.
Mr. Charles.
Very close, though.
Well, hello,
Yeah.
Receiver group.
Raymond Charles.
Receiver group.
Yeah.
I can't see that thing going good now.
Take a look at him.
You're taking
Yeah,
a
I'm gonna-
picture of me.
I'm going to go Jake.
Good.
Jake's not in this matchup.
I'm going to go Ryan.
Sir.
Bryan had some sunglasses on that apparently made him go blind. So,
Ryan.
going Ryan?
Yeah.
Or you just,
Isn't that a Hootie and the Blowfish song?
I only want to be with you.
That is also a Hootie and the Blowfish song.
Yeah. I go blind. Yep. Not that one, the other one. All
I
right.
go blind.
Running back.
I go blind.
I don't like that song.
That sounds Elvis Presley-ish.
Eckler versus the undefeated Raiders on Monday night, and Chase Edmonds versus the Rams.
I think this
The
is
undefeated
pretty-
Rams.
I think this is pretty easy.
On Sunday afternoon.
Jones versus Pittsburgh, though. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
tough matchup. What's TJ Watt's update again?
I'm making a bold prediction. I'm saying he's playing.
He should play.
He looked him up.
Yeah,
And
he did. Look him up. Didn't even say it though. Does it count if you don't say look him up?
James already having 20.
Yeah, that doesn't.
I like Rightmyer here.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
I'm going
20
right
stuff
right
like me.
here also.
I think Rightmyer convincingly in the run backs.
So
I
basically, I look at it as like Jones has to outscore Edmonds. Because Eckler,
He could get 20.
I would have taken Rightmyer in this matchup running backs even before knowing that James Robinson put up 20.
Well, like I said, they said Robinson's only going to go up.
from
and
here.
attempt, yeah. Doesn't mean he's going to do 20 every week.
So he's not going down.
No.
Well, if he goes up from here, he
Six
has to do
puppies.
more than 20. What a band there. What a band pull. Dalton would like that.
All right. So we're going Rightmyer on running backs? All the way
Yes,
around?
Rightmyer on running backs. Sweep it.
Tight end, Tyler Higbee versus Dawson Knox.
Well, if the projections hold this way, Higbee will put up 10.19 and Dawson Knox will get less than a point.
Less than a point.
I'm taking Higbee.
Yeah, I got to take Higbee just because Rightmyer
He's
has terrible luck.
Rightmyer.
I'm taking whoever he starts, whether it's Cameron Braid or Dawson Knox, just because I feel like law of averages, he's due for a 2-touchdown game from his tight ends.
He just has to
Better
pick.
hope not.
I hope not too, yeah.
I'm going Dawson Knox.
Thank you, Bryan, for going Dawson Knox and supporting me.
Nobody cares.
I care.
All right. So Dawson Knox for you, Higbee for me and Jake. Is that what we said?
Higbee.
All right. To the flex, it goes.
To the flex.
Allen Robinson, number 2 against Detroit. Trey Sermon versus Seattle.
Can you do a little research for him before we make these predictions?
Sure.
What you want?
See if there's an update on who's starting at quarterback tomorrow.
Okay. Andy Dalton.
It's going to be Garoppolo.
Other team, dog.
Let's see. Chicago Tribune. Oh, man, paywall. All right. Yeah.
Hold the phone. We got a bigger update than who's playing quarterback.
What happened?
The Chicago Tribune believes Bears offensive coordinator Bill Lazor is more likely to call plays than coach Matt Nagy for Sunday's game against the Lions.
Nagy's not calling?
That's
That's not surprising. He complains a lot.
That's just this reporter's opinion, but I don't know who he's talked to.
You get it? You get that?
All right, Andy Dalton. Let's check it. Nagy said that Andy Dalton's the starter if he's healthy, correct?
Yes.
I believe so.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, let's just start Nick Foles. Let's just start this whole carousel.
Can't do
again.
that till the playoffs.
Well, they ain't making the playoffs. Questionable, limited for every practice this week, while Justin Fields is removed from the injury report altogether.
Justin Fields removed from the injury report.
Yeah.
Ryan jump in there.
Dalton, game time decision. It seems like if he's limited practice all week, he's at least got a shot to play, maybe 60-40, if I had to say, if Dalton plays.
60-40 that he does play?
That's my guess. He practiced all week.
All right, I'll just go like this. And if Dalton plays, I'll go Robinson. Dalton doesn't play, I'll go Sermon.
Okay, I like that. I'm going.
Okay, just poll in the room.
Poll in the room.
If Fields plays,
Get that ball out of here.
do I take Robinson out and put in Fournette?
No.
Yes.
No. Yes. Jake?
Well, you said Fields plays?
If Fields is the starter, do I take
Yeah,
out
I told
Robinson
you
and put in
yesterday.
Fournette?
No.
And I wouldn't ask me. I'd probably play Corey Davis or Tim Patrick.
I would
Tim
play
Tim
Tyson Williams
I like
because he's going to keep pace with Derrick Henry.
Daggone right he is.
If you're going
The
to
only-
go on that ridiculous prediction, you might as well.
The only person that doesn't believe that
It's Tyson Williams.
is the offensive coordinator for the Rams.
Yeah, they don't give him the ball enough, man. He's good. I'd say just leave Robinson. That's what
I did move Robinson down to the flex instead of wide receiver 3 because of that debate
smart.
going back and forth. If I can, it'd be easier to take him out, put
Fournette.
a running back in there.
Would y'all take anybody on Rightmyer's bench over Trey Sermon, since that is his lowest projected
Beasley.
starting lineup?
No.
Would go Beasley.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if
You would go Beasley.
you're talking
you
to
would.
me, I'd go Gronkowski.
I might take.
He's
I mean,
not playing.
I
I know. I'm matched up against him. I'd love to get
Michael
him.
Carter's getting better and better, and more touches within the Jets' horrible.
He just picked him up yesterday.
Listen to me, Rightmyer. Put Beasley in the lineup.
Yeah, but I wouldn't play him. I said better. He had 9 and then 3. So it wasn't
Beasley and
Yeah.
Gordon
I
kind of
think they
seem,
got
I guess, like
destroyed
the first
this
two
week.
bad. Yeah,
out.
I'd play Trey Sermon.
Yeah.
And just based on what we see right now, because that's what we do our bold prediction off of, who would you take in the flex? Trey Sermon or John Robinson second?
Well, 2 of us have already answered.
And I'm taking Trey Sermon.
Okay.
I'll take Allen
I'll
Robinson.
take Allen Robinson. Yeah.
Who'd you take, bro?
He took Sermon.
I said Sermon if
His was conditional on
Fields
who
was.
starts at quarterback for
Yeah.
the Bears.
I like that. Yeah, I said I agree with that.
Yeah.
What you said. Yeah.
I mean, his
If
house.
Field starts, I would still keep Robinson in, but
He's-
temper my expectations.
Field starts, I'd put Fournette in. If I'm Rightmyer, no matter what, I'm putting Beasley in over Trey Sermon.
Okay.
Regardless if Fields or Dalton starts.
But what if Nick Foles starts?
That's a whole different thing.
If he doesn't, Beasley's going to be catching passes from Josh
That's
Allen.
it. All right, defense. We've got Pittsburgh against Green Bay
Yeah.
and Washington against Atlanta.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and pick
I
Washington.
think we're all going to just sweep with the Washington pick there.
I mean, look.
But Washington's defense was so good at the end of the year
But
last year, and
New
they have
Orleans-
not been good this year.
New Orleans shut down Rodgers. And if
did.
New Orleans can do it, Pittsburgh can do it.
Yeah, I just don't think you're going to catch Green Bay on that week again.
We talked about, or me and Bryan were at work talking about, I need to look at picking up another defense. And I said, I don't want to have 2 defenses on my roster. And I just feel like, yeah, Green Bay's going to put up a ton of points, but if TJ Watt plays, there's a chance he gets the team gets 4 or 5
fumble
sacks
recovery,
and maybe a fumble.
a touchdown.
So they might give up points, but they also might have some counting stats to maybe get them about 8 or 9.
If you get turnovers and
Yeah.
sacks, then you got a
Yeah.
good fancy defense.
Exactly.
It's just that simple.
Yep.
Washington, I'm going to look at them.
But I'm going to go with Washington.
Let's see. Washington, 11 fantasy points week 1, 5 fantasy points week 2, 0 last week. Ugh. They have 1 interception. They have 6 sacks in 3 games.
Well, the Steelers put up 23 week 1 against Josh Allen and the Bills, and then
They did.
TJ Watt got hurt, and they put up 5 and 5.
Yeah, I guess I can't say much because Pittsburgh's got 1 interception and 5 sacks in 3 games. It's just week 1, you happen to play me when you get a fumble recovery.
Well, I mean, and
for a
TJ Watt
touchdown.
got hurt in like the first quarter of week 2, and that defense is not the same when he doesn't
Nah,
play.
You're right.
So hopefully he play, and
I mean, he's
hopefully
got a
he
point.
play well.
Bold prediction, TJ Watt's going to play.
JT, bold prediction: Can Reed's so fun. TJ Watt will play.
Stop hurting your dog.
All right, so we
Whose
can
dog
take
do
a
you want
look
him to hurt?
Sorry.
at the
He starts
entire
over almost like
matchup.
I say stop hurting my dog.
We take a look at the matchup as a whole. Who you taking, bro?
On the hole?
On the whole.
In the hole?
In the hole.
I gotta go Rightmyer this week.
Rightmyer jumps from 0-3 to 1-3. Jake, what you got?
You know, Hit 'em I what you was got, going to Bo. take
Oh,
Rightmyer until I remember the tight end prediction and
So you
that
remember
Bryan
the Titans.
doesn't pick anyone that wins.
Ooh.
I'm fine with that. It doesn't.
I know you're still in first place. We get it. You got the best team in the
we get
league. But
Broach
no,
still has the best team.
No, I'm going to go with Rightmyer as well.
Let's see. I
Are
went
you upset?
Burrow over Murray, receivers, running
went Ryan.
backs. I went back and forth both times. Both ways.
You
Like
went
a
running
tennis
backs
match.
on that one. Yeah. Oh, this is a
JT goes both ways.
Bold
He
prediction.
did say that.
Verbatim.
Bold statement.
Verbatim quote.
That's what he said.
I'm going to take Rightmyer as well.
Sweep it.
You sweeping it?
He
Yeah.
never picks himself.
Well, I did last week, and that didn't work out.
I mean, the live projection's very close, but
That's why it's
I don't
matchup
know, man.
there.
The live projection is very close. Did you see the original projection?
yeah, 7 points in favor of you.
7 points?
That's
That
what
was
it says
before
right
the trade.
now. That was before the trade.
Yeah. When
Okay.
the trade, before y'all made that
Yeah.
trade, it was like 0.3 or
Was it
0.4.
really?
Yeah.
So this was going to be match for the week the whole time.
Yeah, and then the trade happened, so then it was totally different, and Thursday night happened, so it kind
Why
of
would
skewed it.
it be?
Terrible.
Rightmyer's lineup didn't change though, because he had Miles Sanders on the bench originally. That's why I sent him for Miles Sanders, because I was looking like, what's my best shot at getting a running back?
The live projections have
Hit me
increased and
with your
decreased
best
based off of
shot.
injuries and stuff for the players, but like
Yeah.
Wednesday, I think it was, when me and Bryan looked at work, it was like 120,
It was like
127.6 to 127.3
So you knew
or
all
something.
week this is going to be matchup
It's like
of
a
the week.
point.
I know, but I still wanted to change it.
Why? It's the closest matchup. That's how you pick matchup of the week.
I know, but I lose them all the time. I don't like being part of it.
You just gotta.
That's you. That's what I sound like.
That's what Ryan sounds like.
Yeah.
All right, so clean
Stupid
sweep.
Ryan doesn't know anything.
Or Rightmyer. All right.
Hear that?
So we've got our matchup of the week. We've got our bold projections. We got our bold predictions. We got plenty of them.
Yep.
Lot.
Any
I
more?
didn't make any.
I don't think I made like maybe 2.
I made a lot.
You did make
JT
a lot.
made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Brian made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jake
Slow for me.
made 1, 2, 3, 4, and I didn't make any.
And I'm sure 3 of Jake's 4 were in one matchup.
The only the only one I made is that
JT, goes
JT
both
said
ways.
Brian's better than me, and it says Ryan agrees, and that's it. I
We
can't.
already know you're right on that.
Yeah, I can't make predictions as I'm writing because I'm not paying attention.
All right, make you a prediction, Scribe.
Let me just pick me a random matchup, and I'll make a prediction out of it.
Cult of personality versus victim of the system.
I don't like either one of them guys.
Dude, Broach
Man.
and
Broach Michael.
All right, so
Michael's team goes boom at 1.
Michael's team did go boom at 1. Josh Jacobs doesn't finish the game.
That's not bold. Be bold.
Make a Chuba Hubbard prediction.
Won't be bold. Jake has one. Jonathan Taylor scores a touchdown. this week. He's leading the league in rushing or red zone catches.
but he
or
don't
two.
have
Yeah.
one.
I know.
Make it Chuba Hubbard.
All right, I will.
He's at 13.73 against at Dallas. You gonna share with the rest of us?
All right, I wrote Josh Jacobs doesn't finish game. Ryan, Chuba Hubbard.
Hold on. What do you mean don't finish the game?
He gets hurt.
Be there at the completion of the game.
He won't be at the stadium?
No, he won't be on the field. Well, he might be on the field.
All
He
right.
won't be on the field.
Josh Jacobs doesn't finish game. In parentheses,
But
gets hurt.
what if they end on defense?
He doesn't finish in the final
Loophole.
series.
Yeah,
He's
this
not
is-
he doesn't play Mortal Kombat.
They lose.
Yeah, a flawless victory for the other person.
Phil, they're
Philip,
playing the Chargers. Never mind.
yeah, I was about to say. I
Never
mean, come
mind.
on.
All right,
All right.
what's your prediction?
Chuba Hubbard closer
Hubbard.
to a 50-50 split
With Royce.
with Royce Freeman.
Royce
Not-
the 5'9" Freeman.
Daggum right.
That's a decent prediction.
Bad meets evil. Evil wins every time. He's a rapper, man.
No, I think that's a decent prediction.
I like it.
50-50 split.
I said closer to a 50.
I
Because everybody's talking about Chuba might get like 80 or 90 like Kevin McCaffrey does. I don't think it's going to be that.
See, I think
I know a
think
certain
inside
individual
the
who's
20
hoping-
Freeman's in.
Somebody spent like $88.
Yeah.
Like because he's so downhill.
Likeable.
runner. He's gonna get 2 or 3.
All right, who was the other matchup I had to make a prediction on? I can't make one on
Well, you just
Michael
did.
and Broach.
You
because
just
Michael
did.
didn't have
You
his
just
mindset.
did.
Well, you just
You
did.
That was just on player because y'all said Chuba.
Yeah, but that's what we're all doing.
Oh, the
okay.
other one's just picking a matchup winner.
Yeah,
All right.
and that's it. We've already done that.
All right, Scorp and turd sandwiches. Kyle Pitts scores twice.
Kyle Pitts scores twice.
This could be big.
Did you take Jake?
No, I took Scorp for the first time all year, I think.
You don't change your pick.
Nope.
Kyle Pitts scores twice.
Because Goddard scores 3 times. I'm just kidding.
Write it down.
No, I don't
Scribe.
read it. All right, Derek Henry is not good at football.
Write it down.
I feel like we're back in the cast system. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, because you're at the top.
Right, it's good. It's nice at the top.
It's good to be the king.
All right, you got any other bold predictions you want to make?
All right, I got to
Is
go
it
back to another
predictions or
matchup.
projections? 'Cause I usually
Fantasy
make
bold
predictions.
predictions is what I have written down, but I know you struggle with predictions. So.
Because I
But
give
we're
you
not making
because
it.
I give you stat lines, dude.
I know exact
Those
stat
are
line.
bold
You
projections.
know the bad thing is, Derrick Henry could have like 30 carries for 210 yards and 3 touchdowns, and your projection will still be wrong if it's not exactly those numbers.
It's gonna be close. Give me a little. Give me a
No,
little leeway.
no,
Give me a
you
little
wrote
latitude.
You could have just gone and said Derrick Henry 50+ fantasy points.
Yeah, but I think about it in terms of numbers, and then I calculate those
fine.
numbers
You go on
to
50.
other numbers.
That way, that's stage five.
Okay. All right. I thought we was doing bold projections. We're doing bold predictions. Okay, whatever.
All right, let's see. I got to make
Don't
one
act like you didn't know.
bold
just got the
prediction
words mixed
from
You knew what we were doing.
Andrew and Jordan.
Are you making another one there?
I haven't made one on that one yet.
You making one for all of them now?
Yeah, I haven't done any. Y'all got like 6 and 7
All right,
apiece.
well,
I'm
all
trying
right,
to do
let's
We're
go.
on 6s and 7s.
crazy ones.
All right, make one for Kenny Galladay.
No. Not doing it.
Make one for Keenan Allen.
Best
He's
receiver
been the
in
second-
football.
He's been the second receiver on that team so far.
Keenan Allen, 10 plus catches.
Solid.
I mean, he's been at 9, 4, and 8. So Tim would be his best game. All right, Ron. You got any more projections you gonna make?
Nope, that's it. I mean, I threw them all in there right at the end.
You did a good job.
You did a
Already
good job.
lost Jake, so I think we're good.
All right. Any last words, Jake?
That one
Found
worked for
him.
me.
Right here.
All right. From all of us at the Fantasy Football 5, have a good
4.
week, and we will see you.
Next week.
Maybe next year's draft. We'll just talk to you next time.
We'll talk to you next time.
Later,
All right.
boys.